guys, we have another episode of Kart Talk, and we have a packed agenda. We have a couple familiar faces. Thank you, Tabor and Sammy, as always.
What's up? Thanks for having us.
Glad to be here.
And we have the super stud tier friends, FrenzyFans, and Kareem the Dream. Welcome.
Hey.
Hey guys, good to see you, fellas. How you doing?
Good.
And we also have two other faces that are maybe familiar, maybe not. They're definitely familiar if you are on YouTube and get to identify and find some of the other wonderful content creators. But we have Kevin Garrett, a.k.a. KG, and Sgt Spike. Welcome.
Hello. Hey. Hello.
Welcome, fellas.
We'll get to hear a lot from these gentlemen here in a little bit, but I just want to first say, as we started rolling out Kart Talk, I had so many people reach out and say, "You need to get Kevin. You need to get Kevin on there." I was like, "I don't know, Kevin. He may not want to talk with us. So who knows?" But I'm glad to have you on, Kevin. And Sgt Spike's been a member of our channel for a while, and just so happy to have him as a member of our community. And just for those who are interested to find out more. These Kart Talks are available to the Super Stud members, and just so happy to have this community. So definitely take a look into that. But we have a lot to cover. Before we get into our 2-hour conversation, I'd love to hear from Kevin and Spike a little bit about your origin story playing Mario Kart Tour, as well as also what got you started creating a YouTube channel. What got you thinking about that idea, and who helped you launch it? We'll start with you, Kevin.
Yep. Well,
take it away.
Much like you, I was a pandemic player. I didn't know what Mario Kart Tour was before that, and I had a lot of time to kill, a lot of loneliness being in lockdown. It's like, hey, what's the hot thing right now? So Mario Kart Tour, and I searched, is Diddy Kong a playable character in Mario Kart Tour? Sure enough, he was. So I'm like, hey, I'll go ahead and download it. And, it just took off from there. I focus on free-to-play strategies. That's my entire gameplay experience. And from there, basically, I had no ambitions of starting a YouTube channel. I joined the Kart Life Discord because that group was very positive-natured. I love all the members there. And looking around, I said, hey, Sammy D, would you consider putting out a guide of strategies that are useful for free-to-play players? Because a lot of the things that I'm looking at in my experience differ greatly from the things that you're looking at in the other major content creators. I put together a number of things, and I understand why he didn't want to do that since it's outside of his lane. Fast forward a few months, I really got engrossed in the game, and I felt more comfortable in the strategies that I was looking at and the mastery of those systems. And I said, you know what? This information can be useful for enough people out there. I can go public with it. So it was kind of like a brave new experience, but it's been a lot of fun. And everyone's been so supportive, so especially all of you. So thank you very much for that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really happy to have you, man. As I said, you were much requested. I'm curious, as you launched your channel, was there anything that you were surprised about during the YouTube video creation process? Like, as expectations versus reality, was there anything that surprised you?
Well, to be honest, I did YouTube, this was probably like 10 or 12 years ago, as a Pokemon player. I played competitive Pokemon for over a decade. And when I was starting out on that journey, I did a YouTube channel. So I was vaguely familiar, but YouTube has changed so much in 10 years. And the one thing that's always so humbling to me is just how time-consuming and deep the editing process is.
Yes,
Yep.
that is very true. That's why Tabor and I are on the run now. We just do a run. People ask us for bloopers, and we're like, we just record it, and
they watch the bloopers as it happens, so it's real time.
Familiar with the bloopers, but yeah, there is a lot to the editing process. I do very little, but it is time consuming. I know myself. I've even seen other content creators, like just how many times I do a screen recording and it doesn't record anywhere, and I don't have it anymore, and like that kind of the technical side on that always blows my mind.
That is the most frustrating when you lose that screen recording, especially if there's a special reaction tied to like a pipe pull or something.
Oh,
that's a killer.
Yep. That happened when I got Bowser Santa. I think I didn't even get the reaction. Yeah.
Well, he's a character. I don't even remember what he looks like, so don't worry about it. Not a big deal there. Now, Sgt Spike, tell us a little bit about your origin story and what got you creating a YouTube channel.
So I found out about the game myself, to be honest, because I don't have friends, so I had no one to tell me about it. But
We're your friends, Sgt Spike. We're your friends.
But I've been a Mario Kart fan for a very long time now. My first one was Mario Kart 64. Although I was very young back then, so I didn't really play it too much. It was mostly just me watching my brothers play it. So my childhood Mario Kart really was probably Mario Kart Wii, one I remember the most. So I was excited for Mario Kart Tour to come out. I hadn't actually played many app games at all. Well, I played Dr. Mario World when that came out. So I knew a little bit about how the gacha system works and all that. But then I got to Mario Kart Tour. It was a little bit different there. Wasn't expecting so many drivers, karts, and gliders to be added. That's for sure. Yeah.
Especially karts. Tabor wants more, he said.
Not enough karts there. I need more. But I was very disappointed that Bowser Jr. wasn't in the game, to be honest. I was about to quit straight away. But then, yeah, he got added the very next tour. So I was pretty pleased with that. I've always been a fan of tier lists and guides and stuff as well. I never really used Reddit too much before Mario Kart Tour, but I remember I used to always make my own Mario Kart Wii guides that I would just use myself. Not really any point on them, but I just did that. So that's kind of what got me into making tier lists and stuff. A lot of people liked it. Then I moved on to other things like the should you pull posts, should you buy ones, and started getting a fan base a bit. Then I thought I might as well try YouTube, because I actually had several YouTube channels before this, and I gave up every time because I just didn't have any support in them at all, so I just thought, what's the point? But as I have my fan base, I thought maybe I'll give it a try again, so it's kind of what got me back into YouTube. And especially after the Pirate Tour, I wanted to record my reaction videos from then. So, yeah.
Nice, yeah. I bet you that was awesome with Bowser Jr. Pirate. Is he your favorite driver? I'm curious.
Yeah, I wish I could have recorded my reactions, to be honest.
I was going to say, if you guys know KG loves the Kongs, I think Spike might love Bowser Jr. even more, if you can believe it.
And wasn't Bowser Jr. Pirate the very last one in the entire pipe? I remember you posting about.
Yes, he was.
He was
I
the
couldn't
absolute
believe it.
very-
Out of all the ones,
Mario
it
just
was
hates
him.
you. Mario just hates
Yeah,
us. Like if we have a favorite character, he listens and he's like, I'm gonna suck all your
Yeah, the
rubies
game
dry
knows
for
what you
him.
want. They put it on the bottom.
Not so fast.
When I got to the last temple as well, I would have been very disappointed if he wasn't the last one in the pipe. If he was like the fifth one in the pipe or something, because it's just more special getting him out the last one. I also got King Bobomb from that pipe as well, which was pretty cool.
That was back in the
Oh, that
day
is cool.
when that was his stride, huh?
When we wanted him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spike also does amazing renders of original characters that you can see in the Kart Life Discord and probably on Reddit as well. They're really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, they
yeah,
are awesome.
about
And
those.
so definitely check out Sgt Spike. Is it just sgt.spike on YouTube?
Yeah.
How can they find you?
Yeah, just Sgt Spike.
And you are located. We have a couple people, some from down under, some from UK, like Kareem the Dream. But where are you located? Again, accents can sometimes seem similar to us here in the US.
Yeah, I'm in the UK, southern area, about an hour away from London, but not quite in London.
Awesome, man. Well, glad you were able to be with us. We have a packed agenda, so we'll jump into it. We thought we'd start with an icebreaker that's not Mario Kart related, which is what's your favorite season? As we came out of a spring celebration, a summer celebration, we're now in a fall celebration. So I thought we'd kind of take that theme away. what's your favorite season and why? We haven't heard from you, Kareem. Why don't you start us off? Yeah, favorite season, like life, summer, winter, summer, fall, autumn, whatever it might be. Leaves, do you like sun? Do you like pools? Do you like snow? Do you need help with any more, or is it good?
Anything which avoids as much rain and gloominess as possible. Summer's got to be the best bet. I like to get out on the golf course and whatnot, so it's got to be summer. I know in the States you guys can get too hot, and you guys complain, oh my god, it's so hot. I mean, actually, we do that too. We complain when it gets too hot, which is a bit strange, but summer all day long for me. Get outside, enjoy the sunshine. So, yeah, summer all day long. Absolutely.
I'm with you. My vote's summer as well. Tabor, tell us your favorite season and why.
So I live in the Midwest, and we have all 4 seasons and whatnot. And I'm not a cold weather fan. Period. I enjoy going out and playing in the snow is fine, but just keep me inside with hot chocolate and blankets, and I'm good to go. But I'm just having to get outside and go to work and scrape off the car and do all this and shovel the driveway. Not a fan. So my favorite season is spring, just because winter is done. Temperatures are getting warmer. Birds are singing. You're seeing trees with new buds on them. The days are getting longer. It's just, there's so many great things about spring. I mean, I like summer too, but I really like that spring because that means, hey, that cold weather junk is awful. Of course, here in Indiana, we still get random snow showers in April and May sometimes, so you never know when it's going to happen. But definitely, short answer, spring.
Anyone else have spring that they want to add to that?
Absolutely.
If not, that
I'll say spring as well, definitely.
what's your Spike and KG?
Yeah, definitely spring. I mean, that's when everything comes alive. It is just beautiful. I was actually having this conversation yesterday because all the leaves around here, they haven't yet changed color yet, but they all kind of look dried out and like they've lost some of their chlorophyll. And it's just amazing when they first blossom. It has that vibrant green pop. You can't beat it.
And KG, I didn't even ask you where you located. I think
New Jersey, about 10, 15 miles from New York City.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice, very cool.
Figured somewhere up there.
Yeah. Good. Anyone else have fall? We haven't talked about fall. Yeah, Sammy, tell us why you like fall.
I'll go for fall.
Yeah.
I mean, summer and winter, too extreme, cancel each other out. Spring and fall, obviously the most exciting, beautiful times. I don't know. I'm kind of it's a tiebreaker. Maybe fall. I'm going fall just for the. I love those fall colors. I love going up to my family and I. We used to go to Vermont up every fall and just go through drives and see all the changing colors. There's nothing like it, really. I mean, spring is great, but as I get a little older, I'm getting those seasonal allergies kicking in.
Oh.
So when all that pollen's in the air, I'm like, sometimes I need to stay inside. This old man. So. Yeah, fall is good, although, it's just that fear of the winter, old man winter creeping in, but we're going to enjoy it while we have it.
Awesome. I think
What about you, FrenzyFans?
FrenzyFans, I think it's you guys the last ones.
Hands down fall. You got football, hot chocolate,
Yeah.
the colors are changing.
Football.
We live in Georgia, which we're not here, we're not natively from Georgia, and so, the summers, I hate them. They are hot and humid.
Yep.
Oh, you from the north?
I'm from Washington
Originally?
State, so it's not nearly as humid. You have the trifecta of the heat, humidity, and bugs. I'm just not a fan. So when fall hits, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. There was a while there where fall was my favorite, just because you have football, you have so many events going on. You have the Fall Fest, and you have the Halloween and stuff. I still think summer though is my favorite, just because it's just a different vibe of just relaxing outdoors, going to pools.
Sun's out, guns out, right? Studfit.
You know how it is. You gotta flex on them. That's how we do. Good guys. Well, I appreciate kind of that non-Mario Kart talk conversation, but now we're going to get into it because we have a lot of things going on. Specifically, we are recording this on Friday. We were trying to actually cater to some of the European members that we have that haven't been able to get on here. But for today's sake, we had these spots open for KG and Spike to enter on. And actually, I was thinking about it. It'd be great if we had a bunch of content creators on here. Reached out to Carlos. He's celebrating his 2-year anniversary today on his live stream. As we're recording this, you're probably over there enjoying it. But I just want to say congratulations to 2 years for Carlos. He's a member, and we absolutely love what he's doing for the community. And I still remember his 16-hour stream. It's like one of those monumental moments in remembering YouTube Mario Kart Tour. So congratulations to 2 years, Carlos. And that's where you guys say congratulations.
For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow.
All right. Another moment today is that we got released a Halloween tour. Next, starting here in, I guess, 5 or 6 days. I know many of you, since you are YouTube creators, you might have put together reaction videos. So I thought I might just ask, what's your most valuable insight that you have based on the video you watched today, in order to help players prepare for next tour? And then, was there anything that you saw, thought of, or heard after your recording? You're like, oh, you know what? I really want the people to know this. General reactions that you might want people to prepare for.
KG, you want to kick this one off?
Well, believe it or not, I actually haven't looked at the new tour preview yet. I'm doing this first.
Oh! Wow.
And I'm going to do the reaction afterwards.
What is happening?
But what I can say is we know that
you...
London 3 is going to be in the next tour, so that means everything that you're pulling for in this tour will likely receive buffs from the London 3 tracks, and that may adjust how you want to assess the ticket investments into those items, as well as what the expected value is of these new items that will be coming into the game, such as the Waluigi character.
Yeah. KG, give us a teaser, though, on that buff scheduling. Like, what are the most likely characters to get buffed on London next week?
Well, I'd have to
timeline.
go through the data specifically.
Just off the top of your head, though. It doesn't have to be your final answer. What would you guess?
What was 5 tours ago?
Oh, yeah.
I guess Tabor, you can let us know. What was 5 tours ago?
But do you think we could see Kangaroo?
What was that, 5 tours
do you think we
ago?
could see Kangaroo on there? Do you think we could see Mario Baseball yet again?
Mario Baseball seems to be a city track specialist.
Yeah.
Now, I do have some data that I've pulled up, and this is for the presentation that I haven't given yet on how Nintendo does buffs in the year 2021. And there's some cool things that came from that I can share here, such as the amount of tours it takes to reach 80% of those items' total value. In other words, the total number of tracks that they'll receive. For a driver, it takes 9 tours to get to 80%. But for karts and gliders, it only takes 6 tours. And I have some conclusions on that that I'll go into greater detail on. But the primary thing I can say here is that drivers basically receive more late-term value. And then the other thing is that basically, since I am free-to-play, I don't look at closely what's in the paid bundles. It's mostly just what can you get through the pipes, since that's accessible to all the free-to-play players out there. And I compared these 100 Spotlight weekly pipes to those of the special pipes. And strong consideration is given to the ones that are in the weekly pipes. And those items in their second tour, out of the 53 items that I'm looking at here, only 15% of them received the new paywall track in their second tour. And half of those occurred when the buff was into a city tour. So it's actually possible in this case that Tanuki Mario could receive a London 3 track based on this trend, although that is 15%. It's a very small number. And that's compared to special pipe items that are buffed into paywall tracks for their second tour. It's over 50%. And only 1/4 of those items are in city tracks. And that's kind of why I came out strongly, even before the tour started, that Tanuki Rosalina would be something of incredible value.
Sure.
Now, specifically...
So, 6... Sorry.
You want to go ahead?
Go ahead.
All right. So
you're going.
The big one I went out on a limb for is Daisy Swimwear. Because I was looking at these trends, and basically what I saw was that how they buff these ranked tracks, you can either get a debut track, which I would call a paywall track, or you can get a returning track, such as something like Daisy Hills or Koopa Troopa Beach, any number of those tracks. And the ratio flips on when Nintendo gives the buffs. So, for example, for the first 3 tours that they have, excluding the first tour, since they usually always get that brand new track, it always favors the returning tracks of value that they get. So like a Mario Circuit, for instance. And then starting with that 5th tour, the ratio switches. It majorly favors that of brand new paywall tracks by a margin of 3-to-1 on the ratio.
Wow.
And
interesting. See, I was wondering why it went from three tours to 5.
And the reason why I went out on a limb so far for Daisy Swimwear is because I saw that out of all of the recent items, she had the lowest ranked percentage. So if they didn't follow the trend for her, it would have been an enormous oversight on their behalf. And since I said that, she's been in 3 consecutive tours with the brand new paywall track. So it's good to see that Nintendo holds up on some of these things, because we're just looking at the data, we're trying to make inferences, and we can be wrong. It's not a perfect science.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, though, that it takes over some of these old tracks first and then those flip. I think that's extremely valuable insight just in trying, especially for yourself, who's free to play, is like making sure that that wave is crashing right at the perfect time of when you have them maxed. And I like that analogy of the waves crashing and kind of seeing them, crash up ahead and trying to time that perfectly. I really like that. Hey, were you going to say something on this?
Yeah, I was just kind of going off of what the original question was. So 5 tours ago was the Frost Tour, which was Penguin Mario, and he actually got quite a bit of buffs this tour. I think he got the most out of everybody. Just the ones surrounding that. 6 tours ago was Peach Happy, and 4 tours ago was Kamek. So we've got those main 3, possibly under KG's analysis, possibly getting the most.
Happy would be awesome.
Kamek is an interesting one, since he is Coinbox. They have a propensity not to give the new paywall tracks to Coinbox drivers. If you take a look at something like King Baba Gold, he has nice track coverage, but they'll often give him like a Rainbow Road, for instance, instead of the brand new track, because basically if you provide something in the top shelf that is accessible to all of the paying players as well as the free-to-play players who know to go in for those items, then there's no need to pull on this brand new Waluigi character. So they have to keep it exclusive enough.
Whoa. We don't know that he's going to have a bad skill. We don't know that yet. Don't put that out in the universe.
Yeah, this is Studfit's very hyped for this.
I'm really excited about him. I really hope he has a good skill. Sorry.
I mean, honestly, they haven't come out with a bad skill driver since when? I honestly can't remember.
Baseball Mario.
Or Penguin Mario.
Yeah.
Which one came?
Either those were really the only 2 this summer that I mean, even if I think you can consider Daisy Swimwear as a good skill with the triple bananas after getting it buffed. But yeah, I think those are really the only 2 drivers that didn't have a great skill. And geez, you guys can maybe tell me, like 2 months, 3 months.
It's been a long run. I mean, if they give him Giga Bomb or any bomb skill, basically, I think everyone can finally be like, okay, we can skip this one. But then again, will he become one of the 2022 All-Stars? Probably.
Yeah, I've been saving some driver tickets for Waluigi just because I love him. But I also saved a lot of tickets, a lot of kart tickets, because it looks like these karts that are coming out have a pretty sizable hitbox. So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't want to say too much more, Kevin, but just definitely check out the video. It'll be interesting. Want to open it up, Sgt Spike, FrenzyFans, Kareem. Any thoughts on the Halloween tour specifically, this next tour? Anything stood out from the video?
Not particularly.
The reason I
looks like there's going to be like a gold pipe, but it doesn't look like any new gold drivers. It looks like there might be like a gold cart and maybe a gold glider.
Looks like a gold dragon wings. I noticed that.
And so I'm wondering if
cool.
Kevin Garrett
2 spotlights. It's just going to be a cart and a glider spotlight, and then like a smattering of like other stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll have to see.
That's an interesting one, because I think, if it were a gold driver, we'd all feel, again, screwed, and what are we going to do? We got to try to get it. But the fact that it's a cart and glider and people might pass, that's going to be interesting to see how that pumpkin cart plays out.
Yeah.
For me, I don't even like Halloween items that much, so I'm kind of relieved to skip a lot of the stuff next tour. But it all looks great. It looks really good.
So in the preview, they have that gold pumpkin that has like purple like eyes and mouth as it has the like purple sparks that are going out during its drift.
Like the Silver King.
Looks cool.
That looks pretty sick.
It's like one of those windups that like sparks out of its mouth, like those. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
yeah.
those pull...
You pull them back and then they let them go.
I mean, I personally, just judging on what went down on the 1.5 year anniversary, unless something really special happened. So I've made a bit of a change in my. I mean, of course, I've still got a way to count and whatnot, but I've made a sort of dedicated decision to move down to Dolphin or whatever you want to call it. I didn't spend any tickets really on the canoe keys. So unless Waluigi comes out with something really special, I'm waiting for. I'm assuming it could be something like an equivalent to a Shy Guy, Ninja. That's what I'm holding out for. Unless I've had enough of karts, but that Batmobile kart does look really, really. I mean, something about that. I'm like, ooh.
We got a Batmobile cart and a Spider-Man cart.
Yeah, no, it's true. But I am thinking so my latest way of approaching is I'm going to buy one pack basically per tour, unless something really like huge comes out. I might reconsider that. So I'm hoping that one of those might be the packs, but I think that might be a bit optimistic. I don't know. One of them might be Gold Pass. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But I think the whole, the third tour. I'm praying for like a giant banana. That's just all I want is a giant banana high end. But that's what I'm holding out for. And yeah, as for Halloween, I mean, we've just had a whole bunch of pumpkins. This tour, or like jack-o'-lanterns, whatever you want to call them. I'm waiting for that third tour. I'm going to hold out.
Yeah, in the past, Halloween items haven't had as much value. If you think about King Boo's Luigi Mansion, you think about some of these tricksters, you think about the Ghost Ride. Just in general, they've had somewhat poor value. However, I mean, this Waluigi is drawing my attention. We'll see what happens, but I think in general, if you do have to sleep on a tour and kind of take a tour off, that might not be a bad tour to do it. However, you led us a little bit, Kareem. I love it. We had questions from ThisBeChris and WD KahtDahta. Most of you probably have this question on the top tip of your mind, but I definitely want to get it while Tabor's still here, who does have to jump off here a little bit. What are your thoughts and predictions for this upcoming question mark tour? Obviously, it's going to be climax for this 3-tour celebration. What are the predictions? Maybe we'll start with you, Sergeant, since we didn't get a lot from you from this past Halloween tour. What are your thoughts on this question mark tour? And we'll go around.
Well, I think it's probably going to be similar to the Ninja tour, as that was kind of the spring version of this one. Might be getting a new gold driver, possibly, as we got Gold King Bob in the Ninja one. Maybe Song of Coinbox, although probably a bit early, since we just got Kamek. In terms of maps, well, as far as I know, Maple Treeway is the only autumn map. Although I don't know for sure because I haven't played all of the Mario Kart games. So I'm thinking it's either going to be Maple Treeway as the main map, or there's going to be a completely new map to the game, just like Ninja Hideaway, that's based on autumn.
So your bet is a nitro track, a brand new track.
Yeah, brand new track.
Interesting. Other predictions? What do you guys think?
I actually drew out my idea for a nitro track for this tour.
Whoa.
But yeah, I came up with something really good. But
I will just say, I know, Sergeant, you said Maple Treeway might be the only Halloween-related track. I think while Luigi's Mansion is technically a Halloween track, it's not a nitro track, but I think those are really kind of our own too. I'm surprised we'll probably see a lot of it next tour, but
it wasn't shown in the trailer. It was interesting. They didn't show Luigi's Mansion in the trailer today.
So I'm kind of curious. You said you were going to draw something up, Sammy. Is it more similar to Luigi's Mansion, or more similar to like a Maple Treeway?
It's an autumn equivalent of Ninja Hideaway. It's an idea I had, but you guys know Nintendo and DNA watch these videos, and I'm not giving that away just on camera. So you got to reach out if you want my track.
They probably
ideas.
haven't even started on it yet. Yeah, you're probably right.
I think they need to get to work. I feel like if it was a nitro track, a lot of people are saying that. I got to remind everyone always to lower expectations, because they teased that thumbnail of Ninja Hideaway. If they had a brand new nitro track and they wanted to get us hyped, I think they might have teased us again like that. And if it's that dreaded rally, postponed rally tour, I could see a retro track of Luigi Circuit from Game Boy Advance. They love to take these Game Boy Advance tracks, blow them up like Sunset Wilds and Cheap Cheap Island. They've turned out great. And I would love a Luigi Circuit if they do a rally tour, just because it's got it's raining. It's got, I don't know, it can maybe fit for the season, but I don't know what they're going to do. But I think lower expectations, expect that rally tour, and then anything else you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Low expectations. Tabor doesn't like what I think it's going to be.
I think
it's going to be the.
I'm the opposite. I've got high expectations here. So I told you guys last time that it's my birthday. The question mark tour is my birthday.
It's the Tabor tour.
So yeah, it's going to be the Tabor tour. So it's going to be one of two things. Either it's going to go through Indianapolis, part of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll call it the Marioapolis 500.
Nice.
It's going to do that and go all the way around, or it'll be Mario Home Circuit version in my house that I'll set up, and we'll go through the different places and avoid my cat and my kids and everything.
Litter box.
Nice.
So I don't know. The last time we had a question mark tour, it was a really, really, really cool tour that they unloaded on us. So, I know we have low expectations, but, secretly you're hoping for something amazing out there that's going to happen. And so I'm just, I'll be that advocate. I'll be the Lorax that speaks for those high expectations. But I think it's going to be just an original track, something like we had Merry Mountain that came out in during the winter, and so it's been a long time since we've had and then we had obviously the Shy Guy Ninja or the Ninja Hideaway. And so it's been a while, so I kind of see a new one coming out for that. I don't know what it would be. No clue. They really have given zero evidence, and even like pictures or Twitter accounts, tweets or anything. So I don't know what it's going to be, but I think it's going to be amazing because it's my birthday, and I will make it amazing no matter what.
Wasn't the
My
summertime?
birthday in 2 days. So
Oh, happy birthday!
Wow.
yeah. So I'm with you, Tabor. Like, we can combine birthdays, and it'll be doubly as good.
Wasn't the question mark from summertime? Didn't that end up being the last rally tour though? So they ended with a question. It would just be exactly the same.
That's what I'm hearing.
They literally already ended the last one with a question mark rally tour. So I think that's the best even keeled prediction.
Well, going off of that, do we think the Halloween tour is also going to be a rally
Could
tour?
be. That'd be cool if they couched it, and then we wouldn't always have to just waste a tour on a rally. They would fit it into a theme. I think that would be great.
Who's it going to be? Who versus who?
Luigi versus Daisy. It's the next logical step. and you have Luigi's Mansion, and Waluigi's a driver, so I could see it all going that way. But
I think we need Diddy Kong versus Bowser Jr.
Yeah.
Mike actually did that. He did a whole concept for it. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
That's right.
Thanks.
With the gaming headsets and stuff. Was that what it was?
The game.
Yeah, that was fun.
Nice. Other predictions? FrenzyFans, KG, Kareem?
I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be the rally tour. It seems like this is paralleling the summertime celebration, and that's what they ended up with. I checked out the Twitter post this morning, and I saw that they had the question marks, and it ended up being the Mario versus Peach tour.
But it doesn't follow the challenge card pattern that
I
we've
guess
had.
they're breaking precedent there.
Either way,
It's
they're
already
breaking
been broken,
precedent.
though. So, like, now it's
And also, that
revolved.
wasn't Tabor's birthday, and Nintendo is
They
keeping
know.
up with when
They know.
Tabor's
In fact, if
birthday.
it was a city rally tour, Tabor would be the most excited of any tour, I'm sure.
This would be my last
No,
video.
that'd
with
be
all
the
of
one
you,
that you go
so.
for the ACR badge.
Yes,
There you go.
again, for
Right.
Tabor. You got to do it for your
That's
birthday.
I just pour thousands of dollars into the game at that
I do
point.
think that the second year anniversary. I think the 1.5 year anniversary outdid the second year anniversary. I think a lot of people maybe agree with that, and this might be a way to, sort of make up for that a little bit. Maybe that's just my opinion. I am holding. I mean, there are a couple of things. I know Sam's gone through the wish lists of what everyone's gone through, and I know everyone wants to be able to send coins to everyone all at once, but that aside, I think tracks is like, for someone like me who doesn't really get excited by new drivers, all that sort of much, but the thing that genuinely does is I've never been as excited as I was for Ninja Hideaway. Like, nothing has come close, just not even close. So, but yes, you know, I hope more an expectation.
And one of the key takeaways I had when I did that survey was just the love for retro tracks. It was by far the number 2 most voted on issue there after original characters. And we're due for another retro track. We're also, I hope, due for another nitro track. They did 2 in year 2, 2 original tracks. So instead of 4 cities, they did 2 cities and 2 original nitro imaginary places to go to. And I really do hope they continue giving us like 2 a year. And if it doesn't come in that mystery tour, I do think we'll get a nitro tour still, a nitro track this season sometime before Christmas.
Yeah, my opinion is, as we were going to Kareem's point, as we were going into the spring celebration, it was a question mark, you know, for the title, but we could kind of see like what looked like.
This is saying the thumbnail.
The thumbnail, we could see like that there was some kind of we weren't sure if it was like Shanghai or some kind of like ninja, or if it was like China or, you know, whatever it was.
Wario. Didn't people think it was going to be Wario?
We thought it was Wario because of the onion, because of the mustache, and there's still so many ties there. It blows my mind that they haven't like, you know, come out and brought it back or come out with some kind of ninja Wario. I think that's coming. Nintendo does this all the time, where like they give us Berlin Byways 2 and not 1. They do these things to like let us know that something is more still left to be.
They're telling a story. I hope they're telling a story. I would love to see like a Coinbox. Next Coinboxer be a Wario, and he gets top shelf on Ninja Hideaway, whatever. You know.
Yeah, no, I love that. But the main reason I brought that up is that there's no thumbnail on this question mark. So I was thinking to myself, why would it not have a little thumbnail? Like, why would they go out of their way to do that? Obviously, there's the camp that might say, well, it hasn't been created yet. I don't think that's the case. But my thought is, what if someone saw the thumbnail and didn't get excited about it? So like, what would be not exciting to see? So here's my wild guess, and it's kind of off the wall. I literally just came up with it hearing you guys. What if they had remix Luigi Mansion?
Yeah.
Like something like that, where it's like you'll see Luigi Mansion, you're not going to get excited about it, but you get a video of it, and that's how you find out about it. Much more exciting.
I think we're all dreading if they're going to go the remix route on other tracks. I think the only reason they remix the SNES is because they're very simple tracks to build. They're flat. They're completely flat. All the SNES, and then there's just blocks and turns and jumps, and so they can literally just rearrange things and make a remix. But to move to redo Luigi's Mansion, a full 3D track, that would take a lot of work. I don't know, and it would disappoint people for sure.
Double Dash. Bring back Double Dash. Honestly, that'll be it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear a lot of people for Mushroom Gorge. Is that a like
that's
autumn
the
thing?
Wii set. That's the Wii crowd, the younger players that grew up with Mario Kart Wii, Mushroom Gorge, and Coconut Mall.
We don't discriminate, Sammy.
No, it's not. It's not discriminating. It's identifying that, each generation, like we grew up with Double Dash in 64, and then the next generation they grew up with Mario Kart Wii. That's the game to them. That's why they love those tracks. But it's not. It's kind of odd to me. It's a little foggy and misty, a little bit.
Okay. All right.
I'd be interested to know, like, what age group spends the most sort of money. And if it's going to be people in their 30s and whatnot, they should cater towards them and just bring out a whole bunch of Double Dash.
This is what I said in the report. It's like you got to cater to these older players who are playing. All of us. Look how many of us are in our 30s and 40s. And I know there's people that in my survey that were in their 50s who play the game, and they have money and they want to see the retro tracks. It's simple.
Nostalgia, man. That's the way to go.
Yeah, no,
nostalgia.
Really good point, Kareem. I think that's really telling. Hopefully they continue that trend. One little tweak to that, Hero of the Skies asks, headed into year 3, how many new retro tracks do you think that they'll give us in this third anniversary, or in this third year of the game? Do you think that's something that's going? If you had to do an over/under retro tracks to nitro tracks, which do you think would get the edge?
Oh, more retro than nitro.
A 2-to-1? A 1-to-1?
I think there were 4 retro tracks in year 2 and 2 nitro. I could be wrong, but
there were actually
Sunset
a lot
Wild,
more retro tracks. If you go back to Maple Treeway,
well, Maple Treeway, DK Summit from Wii, and then you had Cheap Cheap Island and Sunset Wilds from GBA, and I'm trying to
Donut
think
Plains
about
2,
if
which
there was
wasn't a
one.
remix.
Okay. Yeah, but it was Donut.
I hear
Donut
that,
Plains,
but
you know what I'm
it
saying?
is technically original.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they could. For example, they haven't done SNES Bowser's Castles, right? Like they could do a whole line of more Bowser's Castles if they really wanted to start recycling those retro tracks. But I thought the question was more like brand new retro tracks from Hero, and maybe hopefully we'll get 4. 4 or 5.
4.
I
Who
think
thinks more? Who thinks less?
I think 4. I think I would love it to be 4. I think if we get 2, we're doing reasonably well. I'm being just going on the path. I would love it to be 4. But I think more like 4.
Kevin and I always are having all the same expressions. We're just like,
yeah, it's weird. So I'm considered a whale player. Same with Kareem. I'd say FrenzyFans, you're maybe a step below us, and then you have Sammy D, kind of a step below there, and then maybe Tabor right there. Spike, you might fall right in there, and then you have Kevin Garrett, who's free to play. So we have a full spectrum of players, and it is interesting. Things that I like about the game are going to be probably polar opposites from what Kevin likes about the game. But that's what's great about this game and how things differ. So I think I always hear in like my videos, I always have the free to play people like shouting like, no one likes that, like no one likes the packs. Just skip that part. And I'm to be honest with you, Kevin, like what I love about your videos, I could, the stuff you talk about for free to play, like I totally forget that that's there. I just love you as a character, as a person. Like I really like your strategies and content there. I love that aspect of it. I do want to make sure we have about 10 minutes before Tabor, you might have to leave. You voiced up, you really had so many rubies lying around that you wanted to pull before you left. Is that still something you're interested in doing? How do you feel? You feel lucky?
No, I'm good with that. I'll continue the pattern. I got really lucky last time, so I'm a little worried that it'll alternate and it won't be too good this time.
Nice.
But during week 1, I got my hat handed to me. I did not do well in ranked. I tried as much as I could without putting rubies on my characters, but looking at the top shelf items that I had, they weren't really long-term value, so I didn't want to really boost up too many with the rubies or with trying to pull or using tickets. So I ended up getting 16th during week 1. It was like the first time I ever was literally out of the rewards because the rewards only go down to the top 15. I got nothing to show for it except for sore hands for trying to grind for those points. But I was fine with it. It happens. It's not a big deal. I'm doing a little bit better this week. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to you. Well, I could have got 20th, and I found out that there were 3 bots.
Oh my gosh.
in the other week. So there were 17 real players, and I was 16th. So I beat that one guy. I tried to track him down to like brag and gloat over him, but I couldn't find him.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to leave this up to you guys. You guys can make a vote for it. So there's only 2 pipes left. We have week 1, which has the Tanuki Mario. I've actually already pulled on this one 5 times, so there's only 50 left.
What's left in
that
there?
one.
What's left in there?
There is still Tanuki Mario and the glider.
Yeah, I think you got to go week 1.
And then week 2, I have my 3 freebies down. I didn't get anything, so there's 97 left in week 2.
I think you got to go for
the
Tanuki.
Yeah. Also, are there other high ends still in the first pipe as well? The regular?
I got.
In other words, how many high ends remaining in the 50 or so?
4.
Yeah. Well, I think you gotta
2 spotlights. 2 spotlights and 2 regulars. There's still a driver and a cart for the regulars.
Do you want Tanuki Mario? What are your feelings on the guy? A lot of very controversial figure in the.
I mean, I probably want him more than I want King Boo Luigi Mansion, but because I don't have him and I don't have Peach Halloween, which actually is a decent value within herself, but that's going to be really hard to get in one.
So we offered up in the past to let somebody pull with Tabor. Would anyone like to pull off?
Kevin.
Kevin pulls like once a year.
Bro, you've got 1,500 rubies.
It's 1,600 now.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
No pressure, Kevin. But anyone else, Kevin included, would anyone like to pull with Tabor?
You literally picked the first week in my history of Mario Kart where I'm actually going to say no. Every other time I would have said yes, but as my new strategy, I'm going to have to decline, I'm afraid.
I drained all my.
I like that self-control.
Baby
KG, you can make a 30-minute video about why you shouldn't have done this if you do this. So come on, this gives
so
you good
tempting.
content to create.
No can do.
I don't think he's doing it. Anyone else like to pull? If no one else wants to pull with them, I already have Tanuki twice. I'll pull with you. I don't care if no one else wants to. Anyone else want to pull?
I'm gonna hold. You guys know I'm down on rubies and saving.
FrenzyFans girl, what'd you say?
Oh, I drained all my rubies for baby Mario Koala.
All right.
It was a very smart investment.
All right then.
Did you spend 1,000 of them to get that
600?
one item? Like, jeez.
Over
Oh,
two
boy.
Over 2 tours.
over two tours. He was in the special pipe 2 times.
What about you, Spike? Are you passing on these pipes in general, or are you interested?
Yeah, I was going to save, to be honest, for Waluigi.
Do it.
As a
Smart
lot of
move.
time.
Smart move. This is a
I don't
terrible
mind
decision.
I don't mind trying a temple.
You want to do temple?
I don't mind.
Let's do it. Hey!
I think we
There.
got 200 rubies.
KG's off the hook.
I'll give it a go.
So what's your situation going into this pipe? Have you pulled it at all?
No, only the 3 pools. That's it.
All right.
I don't think I got a high end. I just need to check and make sure. No.
I am
High end's
excited
still
though.
there.
I really
Hey.
want to see Tabor get something fun.
Stuff
Only
that
one,
I'll
though.
pump.
Are you gonna organize and count this down and get everyone on the same?
Yeah, we'll start. We'll go Tabor, Sgt Spike, Tabor, Sgt Spike, one at a time. We'll start with you, Tabor. Go ahead and pull, buddy. Get some
There
birthday
you
luck. Birthday luck for Kareem. Happy birthday. Oh,
It's fake.
It's a fake green one.
brutal. It's blue.
Yeah.
Is it blue?
Stupid.
I had a fake green pipe yesterday. Great.
Okay, we got the red
Now,
kitty card.
is Spike gonna
All right,
roll?
Spike. Now
Red
Spike's turn.
Okay. Come on, Sergeant Spike. See that gold.
Let's go.
Let's go. Get some better luck.
Gold pipe. Gold.
Oh.
Oh, rough one.
Fake green.
All right, so the person that gets the most supers wins.
Or the most coin. Yeah.
All right, Tabor,
Okay.
show us what you got.
You win
One
by
normal, one
another
normal.
45 ruby temple.
Ooh,
Come on, wait.
back
I've
to
been
back
regretting the
commons.
decision.
Spike, let's go.
Common glider.
Oh, one
Cucumber.
super. One super.
Nice, Tabor.
Man, we need some star reactions
Right.
here. Come on.
Come on now. Let's go, Spike.
Good
You got
leg.
this. Ooh,
Oh,
wow.
Oh my goodness.
Another
Good
Spike
supers,
super.
too.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Tabor.
We need to make sure we announce this for our audio crowd
Oh,
out
that's
there.
a good
Oh.
point.
They
So
can
we
hear
got a
it.
red Yoshi. Before that was, the cucumber. And then, Tabor, you keep pulling commons. They're all terrible. So I'm not even going to mention which one.
That's my superhero skill. That's my superpower. I'm pretty good at that.
Okay, and Tabor's up next.
All right, we
Hey.
got the Mach
Mach 8.
All right,
Mach
Spike.
8.
Oh, wow. Again.
Ooh, another
Double?
cucumber.
Another cucumber.
Which is a reskin of the Mach 8. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Almost,
Is it?
right? Isn't it the same build?
I don't think
It's the same. I feel like it's the same.
similar, but not.
Skeleton. Okay, another
It
reskin.
is similar.
Really cool.
Oh, another cheap. Is it just cheap charger? Right?
Cheap,
Yeah.
cheap
Charger.
charger.
And we
Yeah.
got Spike.
Come on.
Bullets.
Bullet bill.
Blaster.
We need a star. We need a fake.
Full
Let's go,
buster.
guys.
Here we go. Here we go.
Come on.
Another super.
Truba.
Cooper
Trooper.
McTroopers. And then we
No
got
one?
red
Oh.
free running.
Oh.
Wow, some supers.
That's the better Koopa Troopa.
He's winning the super.
He is crushing
race.
you, Tabor.
He sure is. I know.
Oh,
Oh.
green Koopa,
Koopa
Dasher.
Dasher.
What?
My
Why is he
goodness.
getting all these rare
guy.
super?
And drivers.
My goodness.
Come on, star. Come on,
primarily.
star. Ugh.
Parachute.
Parachute.
Parachute. What is it?
Okay, Spike.
Pair of garbage.
Which is not good.
All right,
charger?
so cheap charger for Spike.
Okay, Tabor.
It's a
So
special pipe
one
is
more,
still
two
here.
more?
Oh, one more last one for Tabor. Oh my gosh!
No.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Tabor's 10 pull is going to turn into Tabor's 20 pull.
That's right.
If I had the rubies that KG did, I would do it.
Jeez, don't we all wish?
There's still more in there?
Oh
Wow.
my God. So
There's
many.
always more
I think,
garbage.
I think
It's
your
never
first
ends.
pull was the red kitty cart, and the last one was the
Okay,
green
here
one.
goes Spike.
Oh, Spike, you got Tabor's luck on
Super
that.
glad.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Bummer.
Oh
Wow.
my.
So you got one super.
Oh my.
All right, there.
Yep.
Some riveting podcasting right there. Appreciate that, Tabor, and thank you for stepping up, Spike. At least somebody got something. This supers will probably add up. You don't.
Now, Tabor, are you the kind of guy who will be tempted to scrape a couple singles over the next week and see?
That's a lot of high ends still left in there.
If it was, if there was something more valuable, then I would possibly do that. But no, I'm good.
How many rubies are you at right now, anyways?
462.
Oh, nice. Well, you got some wiggle room. That's good.
Yeah, you definitely have some room to go. So, Tabor,
You're sick.
if you need to drop off, feel free. With pleasure having you on, and thanks for letting us be able to poke fun at you and your terrible common drivers and carts you got there.
Yes. Yes, for sure. Anyway, have fun, the rest of you.
See you,
and,
Tabor. Glad you could join, man.
See you on the rundown.
See you
Thanks for the
later.
card.
See you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, so now that Tabor is gone, this might be a good time to throw in a question we got from Jeeves that submitted, he being one of our super stud members. Let's see if we could pull this up. Pop it to the beginning.
This is Jeeves Asks,
Jeeves Asks.
not Ask Jeeves.
Let's check it out.
Hello, everyone. Sorry I couldn't be with you today at this episode. Hope you're doing well. I guess my one question for you guys is if Nintendo had a choice to retire a driver or a cart just because it didn't buff well and no one's using it, which one would it be? I think I would like to retire Shy Guy Pastry Chef. Have a great weekend.
So it's an interesting question. We could go a number of different ways on this. I think my thought process was actually probably Party Time Toad, because I got him in so many pipes, and he's just like,
Party's over.
dude, that party was shut down, and the cops were there and broke it up, and we're all just left here with empty dreams. So I'm not a big fan of. I have a level 7. I don't think I've ever used them on any track ever. So that'd be my answer. What do you guys think? Would there be any retirement party for any other driver?
For me personally, it would be. I mean, I maybe have had to use them once or twice, but being away and whatnot, the amount of times I've got Ice Mario, as my high end and just got 6,000 coins. Again, I know Sammy, whale problems, whatnot, but I find it extremely, extremely annoying. The other one would be, okay, I know he's in the pipe now, but I got King Waluigi's Mansion ages ago. I've never used him once. But I would probably go with Ice Mario as the guy that I just keeps popping up, and I just don't need him. So.
Yeah, or for me, the Dry Bowser. If you remember those some of those pipe pulls back in the day. Good answer. Anyone else have an answer to someone they wish they could retire? Or a cart, for that matter?
I'll let our guests go first.
Neil loves cheap masks.
I was gonna say for the gliders.
You were disgusted
I
when
absolutely
you
hate
pulled
cheap
that.
masks. Did you guys see when I pulled that on my?
I was so. Yeah, you were disgusted, but a lot of players love that. A lot of whales do.
I don't know.
7 double cap.
Maybe it has some good value, but I just vomit in my throat a little bit every time that I see it.
Why? Because it's just the big lips?
It's the grossest looking thing. To me, it looked like a Fisher Price toy.
But
it's like, what?
But it's. Can I give some cultural context?
Yes, please.
To the yeah, please, if you have some.
I don't love it super much either, but the rational part of my brain, you guys know I love the Japanese stuff, it's a total homage to the festivals in Japan. They have these. They are plastic things, and they're the face masks, but they also do these big plastic ones like this, like a hairband. So it does have like a cultural purpose behind it, and maybe it looks plasticky for that reason.
That was very cultural.
Just for what it's worth. At least there's something to it, and it's not just stupid.
Yeah. But I think as far as the driver, and completely no offense to Kevin, but Dixie Kong, I can't stand her. Like,
What?
How could you say that in the presence of KG?
Those are fighting words.
Anytime that she's in a course that I'm driving with, and she's like next to me, and I hear her, I immediately quit
I'm pro scream. I'm pro scream.
Really?
Yeah, it's a big
Get you aroused
talking
or
point. You're either pro or con Dixie's voice. Kevin, as the Kong expert here, would you like to?
Well, of course I love it because I'm always the one using Dixie Kong. So it's a taunt basically.
Mute.
You love her, right?
Of course.
Is that your dream girl? No, I mean she is.
Dream
she
girl.
is an awesome.
Oh, that's Candy Kong.
Oh yeah, good point. No, I mean she's a great driver when you think about skill and coverage and stuff. But her voice, you have to admit. Do you admit? Well, maybe I'll give you the chance to. But her voice. Are you pro voice or anti-voice? How do you feel about her voice?
I'm pro voice. I mean, she's an animal. She's a chimpanzee, right? I listen to a chimpanzee scream. It's pretty accurate, actually. Not to offend any of the Daisy fans out there, but it's way better than "Hi, I'm Daisy."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's a solid argument there.
Hi, she's been yelling that since like 1998. It's kind of a silly question, or fun. I would say fun question. But if you took it seriously for a second, what if they did introduce a retirement mechanic in the game? And what if I were to say, let's pick Metal Mario because he was the very first common, normal, high end. Mm-hmm. What if when you got Metal Mario to 7, and only when you get him to 7, you have the option of retiring him and getting 250 rubies for him, or 100,000 coins for him.
Or 14 high-end tickets for him?
Sure.
Oh,
that would be cool.
Absolutely.
And then after they do that, then Peachette would be the next to be retired a few months later, then Dry Bowser. I mean, who wants those drivers anyways anymore? We're all tired of it.
So you're saying take them out of the game for just you? Like you can't pull them anymore?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I haven't thought this through. It probably doesn't actually make
I love
sense.
that twist. It's such a creative, out-of-the-box way to see that question.
You just wouldn't have him anymore. You would, but you have to get them to level 7 first or something. I don't know. It probably doesn't make any sense.
No. In the way that when you pull a driver you already have at level 7, you get like half of its value in coins. What if you got half of its value in tickets or something like that? I would totally cash in.
I love that.
What if you could
I was wondering if there's a way to actually retire
and
them.
get a driver that you don't have?
No. Oh. Well, a lot of people have every driver though. The whale.
A lot is relative. I would be willing to bet that there are a lot of people that don't have all the drivers than a lot of people that do have all the drivers.
Right. It's true. Well, we get party time Toad then.
There's, I was gonna say there are a couple ideas similar to that like would never probably fly. One of the thoughts was like, what if you could just trade skills? Like, what if you had a ticket you could just like change a skill? Could be like a random roll, but like that for just you. So it would be different from everybody else. But I don't know. It would never happen. But it's just kind of fun to like think about these hypotheticals.
It would cost $500.
Paywall the heck.
One thing that's interesting is that they already kind of do this retirement thing. I believe you guys mentioned in the new tour preview they had a new Dragon Wings. I was just commenting to a viewer actually because they asked me why is Dry Bowser Umbrella more valuable than Dragon Wings. I said because Dragon Wings is all old value. I pulled it in the Ramby Runner pipe in the Bowser vs. DK tour. I haven't used it one time.
There you go. Great point.
Yeah.
And now Dry Bowser Umbrella seems to have old value. You don't see it get nearly the attention it was getting so often back 6 months ago.
Plus green skill is a bit annoying.
It's what's going to happen over time. As time goes on, these different waves they're going to be in the past, and there'll be a new hot thing. Oh,
I remember a lot of people were thinking the crystals was going to
snow crystals
going to get a lot of value
those?
Because it had that green shell, but it never really got, in my opinion, any type of buffs that made me attracted to it. So yeah, I don't know if that theory is still kind of holds true. Talking about trends, I have a question here for you guys. 2020. One observation that I made is that sometimes the heavily buffed paywalled carts seem to have a lot of the coveted value that had also happened to have mini Turbo Plus. I'm thinking Wild Black, Rose Queen, Happy Ride, the top 3 carts for basically all of the year, or at least most of the second half of 2020. Now, of course, the algorithm had mini Turbo Plus as a high skill, but I think it was still only 15%. So it wasn't anything that was like even if you took that skill out, those would still be the top carts. And if you remember, everyone was so hyped on mini Turbo Plus, and then all of a sudden we saw once 2021 hit, we went about 2 or 3 months without having anything. I think we had 2 mini Turbo Plus carts before we got to Kevin Garrett's Romby Runner. And all that period of time, we had all these other skills except for mini Turbo Plus. I think we had the Cat Cruiser and maybe one other cart. And then now we see, I remember saying at the time, I think Nintendo wants us just to get away from mini Turbo Plus and take it off of its pedestal. And here we are, literally 9 months later, removing the skill of carts completely from the algorithm. And I think back to this late spring, summertime, Nintendo went out of the way to keep buffing these notorious non-Coinbox drivers, such as Pauline Rose, Birdo Black, Baby Mario, Koala, etc. And then not the drivers, like my boy Mario Tuxedo. I was like, please give him a buff. Please give him a buff. No buff. Please give him a buff. No buff. And it just happened time after time. It was pretty blatant. To me, it was kind of similar to going as long as they did without mini Turbo. So my question was, am I reading too much into this? And then also, what could they potentially be trying to do by buffing all these non-Coinbox drivers? And we have some good perspectives we didn't have on last time, where we kind of asked something similar. But do you think this is an actual trend where they are buffing non-Coinbox drivers, and what do you think they're trying to do with that?
Yeah, I absolutely think that they're trying to take Coinbox out of circulation from these new tracks, and basically that just gives them their best chance of making the most revenue through the pipes as they can as they introduce these new items. Anything that isn't Coinbox, such as the aforementioned Mario Baseball, Mario Penguin, they still need to sell those items. I had made a video back in the summer on ways to save Mario Kart Tour, and I had shared the oversaturation of Coinbox in terms of the high ends. And I believe that it's about 1 in 7 of all the items introduced are Coinboxers from the drivers. And of the other drivers that are introduced, their Coinbox overlap, only 1/7 of them have less than 50% overlap. So you're basically having all these new drivers being brought to the game, and they're just being populated onto tracks that already have Coinboxers, making them relatively useless to players at the top of the food chain.
So it's purely revenue driven, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's deliberate what they're doing here.
I think most things in the game are more revenue driven than any of us realize on a daily basis. It is going to be that way. They inject a lot of cool creative development, but it's a revenue stream. It's a money earning app for Nintendo.
Fair enough. Other opinions? The second part to that question is: are you guys picking up on any early, obvious third-year trends now that we had the second anniversary tour, and then we had this autumn tour? So far we only have two tours to kind of look at and say what's happening here. But any obvious trends that you're picking up on so far?
While people are thinking, just Studfit, before we pass your question completely about the cart skills, because we didn't quite get into that, but that's one of those things where I say everything's revenue driven, but I also think that we might be studying the game even more deeply than they are. I've always thought that, a lot of the stuff we're reading, all this order into the chaos, and are they paying attention to what cart skills get what tracks? I really don't know. It could be totally random. KG, what do you think about that part of it?
In terms of the carts?
Yeah, are they like choosing, let's give this kart these buffs, but let's give him this skill because this will affect things in this way?
I really don't know about the kart skills.
Yeah.
I've been on the bandwagon that they're irrelevant for a long time. It's all about the track coverage that they receive.
Yeah, point-wise, people have kind of broken down lately that the skill is not as
I kind of feel like that's a way in which the developers actually do study the game more than we do, because honestly, we just don't have access to that information. I know FrenzyFans, you do a lot of work with this in terms of educating the player base on what actually accumulates your score as you play through the game. It's so hard to decipher. And really, it's not too complicated. It's just very intimidating to look at these like big formulas, and your resource with the projector or the predictor really takes that intimidation factor away from helping people to figure out, like, what are you capable of scoring on these tracks?
Yeah. As were you going to respond to that?
Yeah, so we've got.
I was going to say.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
I was just going to say that probably the trickiest part of the calculator, we've tried to make it as kind of straightforward as possible, but the bonus points per action is really the hardest thing to kind of understand or guess. And a lot of times, like, I'm just taking data on every single track pretty much that I play, like when I get a good run, hopefully, using that data so in the future when it comes up in ranked, I could then have a good, starting point if it's the 58 bonus points per action or 66. And I've kind of understood, I've learned that, if there's like a trick track, you can expect it to be in this range. If you have giant banana, if you've got like lots of bananas, those are worth like, almost twice as much than like a coin, for example. And so if you have a coin box, then, you kind of get used to it. But, that's why we try and do like the rundowns and the ride-alongs every week, so that those that are new, or even those that have been using the calculator for a while, it just helps them. Like, we go through what all those values should be, like what you can expect. And so we hope that it helps people out. There have actually been quite a few people on Reddit this week that I think are kind of newer to the game that have these questions. Like, here's my loadouts, and can I score any more points? And I always, try and like write a comment like, hey, have you tried out? And then, give a link to one of our videos. Have you tried the calculator? And then they always come back and they say, no, I haven't. This is so cool. Thank you so much. So yeah, we appreciate the opportunity to be able to, help people out in their strategy and their rank stuff every week. So.
Good. But do you remember last year how everyone was hyped up on, these Wild Black, Rose Queen, Happy Ride? It seemed like, Mini Turbo was, and then all of a sudden they just stopped giving that skill out. And then now we're, kind of doing the same thing with Coinbox. Do you feel like that is a trend, or do you think we're reading too much into it? And then do you think that we're going to see something happen, or have you already started spotting something happening right now?
I was just going to say, for the trends, if they are watching the content creators out there, then we're in trouble, because Kevin Garrett's onto the buffing, and we're onto the Pauline Rose, Blackbirdo, Cat Toad Squadron, Fire Rosalina thing that happened.
And actually,
I know, But
I've thought about not posting it and just giving the intel to the player base as it comes out.
Right. Sure. Underground. We got to go underground with this, but. If I'm interested to see how the next wave of drivers play out, because if it's true that what we saw happen with Pauline Rose, Fire Rosalina, Kato, that these lesser pulled drivers get the buffs, then we just have to wait a few more months and make sure that happens with Daisy Swimwear, Mario Baseball, Mario Penguin, maybe Waluigi Halloween. We'll see, but if that happens, then we kind of know how it works. And then people are going to start pulling for those drivers. And then it'll be interesting to see over the next year if we're onto them, if they're onto us being onto them.
Some cat and mouse that's going on. Maybe. I could see that.
You can't get everything, though. At the end of the day, you can't get everything. You got to make bets. And that's what's kind of fun about it.
So here's the thing. I think
on the kart skills, and that is, I don't believe you've had Phyllis on, but multiplayer is a big component of the game. And the one area where the kart skill really does play a significant difference is in multiplayer. Using the jump boost car on the trick tracks will gain you an advantage in terms of speed and coming to the finish line first. Whereas on a normal track, like maybe a GBA track that's not trick, you want the mini turbo.
So it's a significant difference, like a half a second or something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
That
I mean, if you're side by side with someone and they don't have a jump boost cart and you have the jump boost cart on the trick track, you'll blow them by very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, I didn't really even know. It says that it gives a little boost, but I've never compared. I've never had an opportunity.
And actually,
where
I believe
literally counting.
I mentioned this in a past Kart talk where there might be some implications in terms of dropping combo with the cart skill based on the speed and also the number of points and how they're tabulated within the combo meter.
Wow, if we could figure that out, that would actually bring it back into the algorithm, maybe.
Interesting. All right, we'll have to have a conversation with Tabor here next time I see him. Interesting. Anyone else want to mention anything about trends or kind of what we're starting to see?
I want to ask a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Some of you might know what I'm going to bring up, but maybe not. Have any of you noticed discrepancies or a difference in the amount of like high-end tickets that you're receiving? Now, the reason that I ask is because I keep a track of the amount of high-end tickets. So I've got all my daily selects done. So I've been getting pretty much soon after level 7 was introduced, I just get tickets. That's it. And for a period of 10 tours, the lowest I received over a tour was 8 high-end tickets, and the maximum I received over a tour was 19. However, over the last 5 tours, I think the maximum I've got is 7. I'm currently in this tour, including both tier shops, I've received 2 high-ends. That's it, and we're like 9 days through. And this is over the like last 4 or 5 tours, so we're talking, you know, almost 10 weeks worth. And I'm going absolutely.
Shut down, baby.
But like, yeah,
Studfit.
Does this actually happen?
Studfit was the first to talk about it. So,
like,
what do you guys think? But does it only happen to Wales? Because Carlos has not been shut down yet. Other Wales out there have not been shut down.
Yeah. So I remember being one of the first to talk about it, and I think that the way I see it, just for those who haven't heard me talk about it, because it was probably about this time last year when I kind of got on a soapbox and really started presenting my data. But I see it as like Nintendo is treating it like a dam, like a water dam, like in that they have this lever and they can go, shut down or like full release. And I think they do it to catch certain people up or slow certain accounts down. Now, I've played around with some ideas like, does it matter how many coins I have or does it matter how many tickets I have? And I don't think, I think the strongest, again, I don't have any access to any information. So everything I'm about to say is just pure hypothesis. From seeing Carlos's situation, I wonder if it has to do with how many tickets you have saved. I know that there's some good friends of mine that have been in like a saving contest. I think of Stanler or Tattooed that literally have like 30, 40 high-end tickets, and they're just saving them. And they seem to...
60 of each.
What's that?
Stanler's got 60 of each.
He's got 60 of each, and I think he sees like 2 a day, like almost every other day. And so I do wonder if like holding on to them keeps giving it to you because they feel like you don't need it or something like that. And I know Carlos does a good job saving. I think he was up to like 20 last I heard. And so I currently have a good stash because I'm saving up for this Waluigi. I think I have like 16 right now and 11 carts, and I got 2 today, and I seem to be getting a higher rate. However, I would say the strongest correlation I've seen based on just like little tweaking and looking at some of the data is like how many tickets I use. So when I use a lot of tickets, my shop gets shut down. That's typically what happens for me. It's like when I throw tickets to something and I need tickets to replenish, Nintendo just kind of pulls that lever down and says, I'm not giving you what you really need right now. I'll give it to you when you don't need it because you're just saving. You're probably going to save forever. So you get 60. So that's been the strongest correlation I've had. But it's been a while since I've actually put the data into my spreadsheet and looked at it here recently. But that's what I've found. I say my lowest was 4. And I think my highest was like 23. But most of the time, like getting 8 in a tour, is probably pretty average. I'd say I think a higher tour would be somewhere in the 16 range. But usually it's, probably average is probably 10. So once every other day.
I think I made a mistake. So I wrote, I was getting just so agitated. I'm almost past it now, but I wrote like quite a long thing to the customer support thing in Nintendo saying, can you please explain, like, is there anything else to take into account? Is it just random or whatever? And I got a response along the lines of, in daily selects, the driver car.
Copy and paste all day.
Blah, blah.
And I was like, I've been playing this game. I got so annoyed by that. And since then, as I said, this tour, including 2 tier shops, I've had 2 high-end tickets. And I think that they've seen my response. I've gone, whatever lever we had closed down, we're doing even more. Like, I must have pissed them off. So I'm not like, whatever, I'm saying nothing, I'm done.
But are you a saver? Are you a saver in that context, or are you a saver or spender?
I have been traditionally always a spender, but I've started to save. So a little bit goes against what Studfit's sort of saying. But
what is saving for you? How many?
So currently at the moment, I think I've got like 15, 12, and like 10, something along those lines. Because I've not really, because as I've embraced this new approach now of like, so I haven't gone for any of the Tanukis and all that, and I'm not, I'm going to save until a Coinbox or maybe a Lucky 7 or Giant Banana comes out. That's a relatively new approach I'm taking, and I don't know, maybe they sort of know I'm doing that, and they're like, okay, well, we're going to force you to actually, you're going to have to start pulling for stuff, otherwise you're going to get nothing. I don't think they think that far. I don't know. It could be just a really long, bad run of luck. It just doesn't feel that way.
Well, I was going to say, what about Frenzy Fanboy? You talk about RNG, and some people think that the game's all designed conspiring against every single player. Some say everything is completely random, and there's a whole scale in between. Be curious to hear Kevin and Frenzy Fanboy talk about, do you think they are turning switches on to certain players, or could RNG explain that long drought still? Even though it's on the far end of the outlier spectrum of possibilities.
Yeah, I think that they do have RNG, but there's definitely like biased RNG. I'm a firm believer that if you're brand new to the game, Nintendo knows that you're new and wants to try and get you hooked. And so the likelihood of you getting spotlights, especially out of like 100 pipes, is much higher. That the RNG favors that player more than if you've been playing for several tours and bought packs and Nintendo Mario already has his teeth sunk into you, right? So I don't know, but like I didn't really make a correlation. But when Studfit, when you were just saying that when you spend a lot of tickets, that's when they kind of like close your daily selects down. That was exactly what happened to me in the Chemic tour, because I had pulled for Chemic, pulled for the Dream Glider, and there were 2 carts. There was the Chemic Zoom Broom, but then the Silver King. That was
Silver King, yeah.
And so I had spent 14 tickets on Chemic and 16 uncap on him, and same thing with the Dream Glider. So I had spent just a ton of tickets. And then that whole week, I needed one more ticket to be able to get to take the Silver King to level 7 in triple uncap. I did not get it. I had to pull that freaking week 2 pipe. Yeah, I had to drain it twice. The second one, it was 99th out of 100 in order to be able to get it to level
Sgt
7.
Spike style, yeah.
And then the icing on the cake was the next day I got a cart ticket. Mario is just so ruthless.
He's coming for you. My guess, just from looking at it, with the tours that I spent over 10 tickets, just as like a soft benchmark, it sounds like you definitely went over that 10 with Kamek and all his set there. Yeah, it's a hot topic. I will say I wasn't expecting this topic to come up. With level 7 release, but I think it's come back into place where even the Dolphins and smaller players are running up against this, where they're like, got stuff maxed. I need tickets. Where are my tickets? It is one of those the most demoralizing parts of the game is when you like wake up excited and you open your phone and you get no daily select high end tickets, and you're just like, can I just like fast forward to tomorrow? I just want to see.
Or you stay up till 2, being excited about it, and then you see it, and it's like, no. And then go to sleep.
I stopped doing there was a while there where I would like wake up to go to the bathroom. I'd be like, I'm gonna check. I stopped doing it because there were too many times where I could not go back to sleep. Either because it was so good or it was not good. And I was just pissed off. I would highly wouldn't recommend.
Oh, I'm known for the middle of the night pee break / ticket check. Literally every night. Some of us wake up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom once. You got to check for tickets every time.
I don't. I stopped. It was too depressing or too exciting. One or the other.
You do the crapper 10 pull. I do the midnight pee ticket check.
There you go. There's a hashtag in there somewhere. FrenzyFans, you actually had a good question. I think people. This is good, especially to hear from our DKG fan. You had a question about tickets specifically with Maple Treeway RT. It's a good philosophical question. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's see here. Let me pull it up real quick all right, so this is kind of a little bit more of a selfish question, not so much of like a philosophical. So Maple Treeway RT this week, I've got DK Jr. at level 1, and before yesterday, I had Peach Halloween at level 2. And I was thoroughly convinced that I was going to put 4 high-end tickets on DK Jr. to get him to level 4. But yesterday in my 3 free pipe pulls, I pulled a Peach Halloween. So she's now at level 3, and DK Jr.'s at level 1.
Yes, everyone pulled a free gold freebie this tour. Everyone, almost.
Did you see? I totally called it out when I was pulling. I was like,
KG did. I did.
Looks like Kareem did not.
Mario bloody hates me.
So,
pipe for you.
So the question is, and I know that it has to do with everyone's loadout, and let's assume that both DK Jr. at level 6 and Peach Halloween at level 6 give you like 4 tracks of like level 6 coverage, right? So that kind of cancels it out. Would it be better? So this kind of now trickles down to the item. Is it better to spend 4 tickets to get Junior to level 4, or those same 4 tickets to get Peach Halloween to level 5? So really, does the triple banana plus
no contest, right, KG?
But see here, so here's the thing: is triple banana plus, all that does is just rotate the bananas around your cart faster, which is more of a defense thing.
Right.
I'm not under the impression that frenzies are affected at all.
But they did update
having level 3
but Fire Flower?
Level 4.
Correct. So actually, taking it to level 4 does not make any significant difference. It's just the bonus points that you're receiving. That's the only thing.
Okay.
But still, compared to Fire Flower?
Well, and I think this is the reason I say this is a good question is because we've all been there, right? We had this one item or this one driver at level 1, and then we had a higher driver, and we're like, should I put tickets on or not? And I think those on the spectrum of more on Kevin's side would just like, I'm not putting tickets on anything unless I absolutely have to. It takes a very unique perspective on like ranked tickets. And I think for myself and more of the whales, that is more of a whale problem. Sammy, you can feel free to flaunt your sign there. But I do think that we get into this dilemma, whether it's carts, drivers, whatever, where we have something at a lower level and we have to debate, do we put tickets on it or not? That's a little tear. I didn't see the tear until just now.
I gotta show the details.
So guys, what do you guys think? If you guys have insert driver with skill or favoritism at a lower level, or something at a better level that you have that's got a terrible skill, in that debate, I mean, which way do you tend to go?
I mean, I'd always say only if you have to. I'm with Kevin on this, conservative, only when you have to. Like I had the same question because my drivers on Maple and my drivers on Donut Plains are not good. I got Blackbirdo at 4, which I'm blessed to have her that even at 4, but it's still Bumpkin. And then Painter, Kangaroo are both at level 1 still. I've been waiting for that moment. But if I can win ranks without having to do that, I'm still gonna try to win it.
What if you're 4th or 5th? Ranked.
Still gonna grind, and then only in the last 11th hour, if it still looks possible, would I do that? Unless it's just like I'm feeling frisky, and it's one of my favorite absolute drivers, and it happens.
This
Stuff
conversation
happens.
here perfectly illustrates the difference between pay to win, or even just gold pass and free to play.
Yes.
Because I hear that and I think if you're in 4th or 5th place, that's a great spot. You don't make any investments, you hold on to your ticket acquisition, and you can put that in at a later point in time when you're going to get better value out of it. But when you're in tier 70, 4th or 5th, you're going to tier down. So it's a completely different situation than if you're in tier 55 like I am.
Yeah, I will say, I saw your video this past week, and I think you have an exorbitant amount of tickets. I think close to 20 or so driver tickets. But I think you were in like something like 16th in ranked. And for me, it's like I know you feel pretty strong about if you don't spend tickets on ranked, you want to spend tickets on things that have long-term value, which I agree with. But I also feel like sometimes it's okay to spend tickets on ranked. That's why we play the game. That's why we win. You know, you can win more rubies. You can win more rewards for it. I think the hate on putting tickets on ranked stuff might have gone too far, in my opinion. I think I do see people that throw like double capping tickets like too frivolously for ranked stuff. Is it worth saving up this huge stash while you're getting 16th, or could you put 2 or 3 tickets each ranked and get?
I've begged Kevin to use tickets, but it doesn't work. I've begged him because I see you there. And I'm like, dude, you could take a Coinbox or level 6 or level 7 and just destroy, and you'd be good for the next 6 months as well.
That's a completely separate discussion. I mean, we could talk about that for an hour in and of itself.
Of course.
So we won't go down that rabbit hole right now. But what I will say is, in terms of the stinginess of using the tickets, it's really hard to understand what it's like without having a free-to-play account and having that be your main account on a daily basis. Because, yes, perhaps you do want to spend some more tickets on ranked mode than I suggest on my channel, but the fact of the matter is it's not sustainable. We're only getting a couple of high-end tickets per tour, and that's if you're in my position over a year in the game, did everything right in maxing out certain daily select slots and that high-end item to get the high-end tickets in your daily selects. A lot of free-to-play players aren't there yet. A lot of newer players aren't there yet, and it's important for them to hear that perspective in how to grow the equity of their account. Because otherwise, if they follow the strategies that they hear from everybody else, they're just setting their account up for doom.
And I'm more close to, even though I buy a 1-pack a tour right now, I'm more close to Kevin's paradigm than a whale's, even, because the idea is, only reason I had enough coins, like over 50,000 coins, that used to be like very rare, and now you get them from doing your pulls. But if I don't have the rubies through the pulls, I'm not going to get the coins to buy the tickets. It's a carousel, and that's why someone like Standler, it's interesting to look at his data. He's got every slot cleared out, and you see the whole shop every day, all tickets. And you can buy them because he pulls with every pipe. But I'm more like Kevin. I have to be very conservative, because even though I have 13 tickets right now, they could be gone like that. And it would take forever to build that back up.
Well, on the same side of things, I had a Gold Pass only account, and I think I got like 1 or 2 packs before I gave it to Wade the Third.
Tiff
Duts, which is Studfit backwards. So I was in this game. I was playing it. I didn't have a lot of time, so I just would honestly every week as I got tickets, I just spent them as I got them. And I don't think I ever got outside of like 8th place. I just stayed, and sometimes I would tear up, sometimes I would tear down, but I would never, like, I would still get tickets, like cap tickets. I would always get something because I would be in that top 8 there. And so I think from that perspective, and I got somewhere in the, mid 50s or whatever it was. So maybe even as high as like 60. I think probably 55. Either way, my point is that I never had to like do any of this, carouseling. I just would put tickets as I got them. Well, I like this, I like that. Now, I think that the downside to doing it that way is that I would put tickets on something that didn't have a lot of value, but I was already kind of pot invested. So a good example would be like the Planet Glider. I already had like level 4, so it was back up and ranked. I was like, cool, 5. I'll just have it at 5. Right. But I realized the farther I got away from what everyone was doing, the more different loadouts I would have, away from the top 10, etc., that I would have going forward. And so I kind of mentioned this. I think it was in the rundown. Never mind. He would only put, like, he had like a Dolphin account, but really he would put all his tickets for All Cup ranking and get top 10. One of the best drivers I know in the game. But when he had the time, when he knew he had a good loadout, he would just throw all his tickets, and that's how he would. Similar to Kevin, you're one of your free-to-play guys who got, I think, top 100. He used all of his tickets to try to go for it. It's kind of the same thing, but just on a different scale. And I think that's a strategy. But then in future tours, he's left with this really, not awkward, but a very different loadout, and he was not playing the same game as everybody else. And so I think there's the one thing I point out is the farther you get away from the top 10, what everyone else is doing, then the more unique coverage you have, and it continues to get more unique because you still have to kind of cover these gaps that everybody else has.
If I could bring us back sort of directly to FrenzyFans' question
Yep.
in terms of so. Tickets aside, like if I had a level 4 coin boxer against the level 5 not average, bomb cam, whatever it is, fire, whatever, I'd probably still go with the coin boxer. Mm-hmm. I don't actually know because I don't use DK Jr. or Daisy Swimmer or whatever, or Waluigi Bus Driver. How actually good is the triple banana since it's been revamped? Is it actually, does it compare to a Lucky 7 or anything like that, or is it worth that one level difference? Because I think it is in a coin box example, and if you're a boom boxer, it certainly would be, I think, for boomerang. I don't know, how strong is the triple banana? Is it worth that one level difference? I don't know. Genuinely.
Well, as we established before, the difference between the skill plus and just the regular skill is identical. But in terms of the value of the Frenzy and what that can do for score, I have that currently ranked in my personal rankings as the 5th best skill. I have it just closely above Bowser Shell. And the reason for that is because if you get the triple banana Frenzy in the first lap, it is almost always better than a coin Frenzy. I have yet to have an experience in which a lap 1 triple banana Frenzy is worse than a coin Frenzy. And it's by a pretty good margin, too. Mm-hmm. Like the one that I had in today's challenge in the last video I put up, I had something like 17 hits, and that was at the end of lap 1 on a wide track. So if you talk about box 1 Maple Tree Way RT, forget about it. That's like 25 hits, perhaps, maybe more.
100%.
It's very close to Giant Banana in some respects.
Wow. What's the best position to get triple banana Frenzy?
I would say 3rd or 4th. I think probability-wise, it's maybe even 5th. But ideally, you want to be in 3rd or 4th if you want the maximum wreckage.
But so you're not going to get
first. You can get it in first. So actually, you can front run with it. It's just that it's a lower probability to get it there.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I had a run on Maple Tree Way with DK SNES Jr. Got the bananas off, and because it's such a narrow pathway, I'd say every track is completely different for how many hits you're going to get. But the fixing of it in the game, substantial jump, and I think it is finally that Giant Bananas plus. However, I will say, like when I'm going back into lap 2, there's still bananas there. Not a lot because most people ran into them, but that wasn't happening before at all. So I think
that's where your dodging skills, Diddy Kong dodging skills, come into play.
And the singles, the non-frenzy triple bananas is good to have too. It offers as protection, and you can also drop them, get a good number. Again, getting 3 extra actions. But yeah, they are more than a coin frenzy. Coin Frenzy, I think, was 17 actions or something like that. And if you're getting 25 off the triple bananas, just watch it. If you're watching it, and what's the break even have to be then, Kevin? 5 hits or something?
That's a good question because you also have to factor in the combo points that you're earning. So while the difference, like the base rate for a coin is 5 points, and the base rate for a banana accuracy is 25, so it's 5 times more. But then each time you have to factor in the combo points and the bonus points per action. So it really brings the coin a lot closer. So I don't have the exact figure in my head, but it's roughly around like 2/3, 3/4 of the number of hits that you need to break even.
I think in my mind, I remember running through the math with Jay. I think it was like 4 or 5 hits of bananas before I'm exceeding what I would normally get if I was getting a coin frenzy. Those are the numbers that stood out to me. But it is much better. Anyone want to add specifically to the FrenzyFans dilemma? Insert item here that you really want, like a boomerang driver that you haven't put tickets on, or a fire flower. Which direction would you go? We'll hear from Sarge. We haven't heard from you in a while.
Well, for me personally, I just invest in ones that I like. I don't think I am kind of against driver items, to be honest, in terms of some being better than others. For me, I think it's just Coinbox, Lucky 7, Boomerang, Giant Banana, and then maybe Triple Bananas, even though I haven't used them yet, but it seems like they're good. Everything else to me is just the same, so I wouldn't ever invest into item and all that. In terms of like whether to invest into ranked, it depends really on how good the item actually is, the driver, kart, or collider. There needs to be a balance with if they're good overall, or if they're good overall and how many points you can actually get with them in ranked to make it worth an investment. That's just kind of my thoughts anyway. I wouldn't invest into someone like if I was competitive, I wouldn't invest into someone like Luigi's Mansion King Boo just for ranked, because he's obviously pretty bad overall. But someone like maybe Donkey Kong Jr. or something is at least
you can do
like
that and be successful.
Not quite top tier, but yeah.
I mean, because that's part of my platform, and I can definitely relate and understand where you're coming from in terms of investing into your favorites. I've only ever put a high-end ticket on a member of the Kong family. I've never put a ticket onto a Coinbox driver, and a lot of people out there are probably laughing at that, thinking it's ridiculous, but I kid you not, I have had the same, if not more, success and progress in my account as do my peers. Those who have the exact same resource acquisition, the same standing in the game, I have made the same, if not more, progress than them. Now, granted, I do put a lot of time and energy into figuring out how to make this work. You can't just do it blindly and play with your favorites haphazardly and have it be to the same level of success. But certainly, there are advantages that you can take advantage of from using lower skill drivers.
And you build coverage based on you could build your own coverage for the entire game based on whatever you want if you study the resources out there.
Now, here's the thing is, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, it's all relative to your own game experience. Mario Kart Tour is really like a sandbox game, and how you can create and mold your environment completely different from other players. So if I'm not invested into Coinbox drivers, I'm not going to be surrounded and exposed to the same things as those players who are.
Now, I personally, I'm very skeptical of this, but I heard you out, and I think on paper, hypothetically, I could see where you're coming from, and you might be right. I think the way you're saying it is, you zig while everyone else is zagging, meaning that if you look at the population of information, you are seeing just as much success, long term, that you are at the same tier with your friends that have put all their tickets on the Coinbox, because everyone is going in with kicking Bob-omb at level 6, double uncapped. And so who's really winning? It's the person that puts the more time. And you're just taking an L that week, and just, that week that there's no Coinbox driver, but Dixie Kong is the main driver, you're getting first, and you're going up those tiers. So that's the way I'm interpreting what you're saying, and hypothetically, I could see that making sense long term. Am I making sense there? Is that what you're kind of saying?
I can understand that that's your perspective with it, but it's actually a lot more complicated than that. It's very hard to describe, because when Dixie Kong, who I have completely maxed out now, level 7, 1400, when she's in ranked mode, that's not a guaranteed win, right? And that's why I was saying that I've seen the same success as players who invest into Coinbox drivers, because in a way, this is kind of backwards and hard to understand. It's counterintuitive, but my account as a free-to-play player who invests heavily into these other drivers is closer to a whale. So it's closer to the circumstances of your account, Studfit, than some of these free-to-play players who emulate what you do by investing only into Coinbox drivers, because their maximum output is greater than what my maximum output is, but my minimum output is closer to my maximum, which is what you experience because your levels are more robust. You have higher levels across the board. So even if it's not your number one items in play for ranked mode that week, you're still putting up a massive score. And that's what the situation is on my account, because these drivers who have a lower ceiling are putting out closer to the weakest things in my inventory. I'm able to maintain steady progress whether or not those top items are winning for me.
You have less variation in it, is that what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
trying to say? Oh.
It basically reduces the volatility of the
You're
random
zigging while everyone else is zagging, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I do think free to play accounts have to take those L's.
Absolutely.
You just can't. And I remember like I started a Gold Pass account. Well, I didn't start it, but it's my niece and I play it for her sometimes. And yeah, you hit a certain wall where, you know, I, in my account, have tried to ride the line, and I will use tickets for ranked if I can stomach the item. You know what I mean? Like, if I have to invest, like, in one of these drivers this week, Reindeer, Cat Toad, or Mario Baseball. They're kind of three terrible options because they're all level 1, level 2. But I would do it, and I found that later it comes back. Like, I find that random moves I made 9 months ago to survive a random ranked week come back into play down the line. Mm-hmm. And I think my strategy is yes, I will invest in ranked, keep the meta, keep all the resources in mind, but I just got to get to that next week and get those 40 rubies.
I'd love to hear from.
But for free to play, it's
I'd love to hear from FrenzyFans Gal. I know you're probably closer to Kevin than most here. What's your perspective?
So I invest in rank if there's a double feature. So if that player is in more than one race and I'll really get the bang for buck, I'll do it. But only if using the calculator, it will actually get me. How do I say this? When you look at like the places that you take and the rewards that you get, like I'll do it if I know that it would take me from like 6th place into the top 3, but I wouldn't do it if it's going to take me from like 9th place into 6th or from 5th into 4th. So that's kind of how I do it, at least. It's all very circumstantial based on the week, but
yeah, I mean, you want to know that if you put tickets, you're going to get what you need, and then you get a sleeper, and then just throw that all out the window. Like Sammy. I do think that like half the sleepers are just people reacting to other sleepers, you know, like someone like Sammy D, you know, someone could think that you're a sleeper because you're like putting all these investments in the 11th hour. If they have you in their ranked, they could be seen. Oh, no, actually, I've moved way towards a courtesy approach, though. I would not do that. I made an effort, actually. In fact, some people started the trend of putting their estimated score in their username as a pure sportsmanship move. And I have great respect for that. I do try to you want to wait at least through the weekend before doing huge moves, but if I know a grind's going to be involved, I'll get it done early, and I will know that other players who might have me, and some of us, they might only pull players from certain pools, remember. You know, who knows how many people have me in their ranks, maybe 0. But I like to give them a fighting chance. Otherwise, you create that domino effect.
But I'm definitely not like Kevin in the sense of I love Coinbox drivers, right? So like Kamek, I took him to level 5 right away. But once again, he was I think he was a triple feature for me over the course of the entire tour. So I don't know. Yeah. I love Coinbox drivers. I think they're worth it.
Two quick things to conclude. I remember my name was mentioned in an earlier Kart Talk episode, in which case, like, I was the anti-Coinbox person. I just want to clarify, I'm not anti-Coinbox. I love using Coinbox. I use it on my daily limit break, which is basically my number one purpose for playing on most weeks. It's not that I'm anti-Coinbox. I'm pro-conventional skills, as I would put it, because that's the majority, the lion's share of these drivers that are coming into the game. And a lot of them, such as myself and Spike, that's what motivates us, excites us about playing the game. And I tried to lower the amount of stigma around characters that have what's perceived to be lower value in the competitive circle, because you can still be competitive with the so-called lower value characters.
No, you make a great point. I think you can, with this Zig versus Zag mentality, do really well, and commend you for putting in that grind. That takes way, too much time in my mind. You probably put more time trying to get that triple banana frenzy than I do on All Cup ranking. Who knows? But I commend you guys for doing it. If that's how you guys enjoy playing the game, all for it. Keep enjoying it however you do it. But thank you for clarifying. I appreciate that. So we're rounding out our second hour. Can't believe the time has flown. I know. But we can stick around for a little bit longer because I actually have two questions I kind of wanted to hit on just because they came from our stud members. We actually had a lot of good questions. In fact, next Kart Talk, I really want to get to Sammy D's question about the bot aggression. That'll be a good topic, but I know we don't have the time. Specifically, AussieKart asks, thoughts on our first version of our previous tour stats and suggestions on how to make this better. I was kind of thinking about it. Is there one thing that you look at that could improve, or is it just for fun? What are your impressions in general about these tour stats?
They're wildly inaccurate.
Yeah.
I think it's a good attempt.
Have they fixed? Are they still buggy? Are they still broken?
They're still way off. I think they got first
I haven't even
4
bothered
times.
to
I'm
check.
like, I did all cup ranking, and I have at least 36 times I got in first place.
Highest combo of like 56. I'm like, I'm not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I expressed my feelings about it already.
On my account,
You should go
as
check
this
it.
tour, it retroactively updated them all to say like highest combo 206.
Ooh, you know what?
So it's fixed for you. I think it's fixed for some people, but
I
not
do want to bring
everybody.
up that point, Sammy, in that I've seen a lot of posts on your Discord server of people saying, look, Peach Vacation is apparently a normal in the icon. But mine show like
the
DK
colors are
Jr.
wrong.
was my most used, and it shows high end. So it seems like there is some weird glitches going on for some players, but not others.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of things in this game. They really rolled it out in a really sloppy way. I was hugely disappointed in it. A lot of people expected way more interesting stuff. I tried to warn people it's not going to be very robust. It's only a sliver of the potential they could give us for track details. We need track details, track records on every track. But they haven't recorded it, so we're not going to get it. We're not going to. If they do introduce it, it'll all be starting now, and that's a disappointment in and of itself.
Okay, yeah. Our highest combo, 198. That could very well be true. So,
All right, well, hey, how about this? How about do a fun little contest? Look at your second anniversary tour. Assuming everyone has the game in front of them to some extent.
Of course.
Opponent crashes. See who has the most for the second anniversary tour.
Okay. I'm at 1393.
All right.
I have 3,419.
Wow.
Of course, Kareem is going to win. Kareem drains every single track of XP every single time.
Until now, I'm that anniversary tour. I honestly,
It broke you.
I'm like done.
Wow, that's a lot. That's twice as many as I had. I had 1,652. So congratulations there. Anyone else even close? Kevin, what about you?
I don't have the app in front of me, but I do know I drained all those city
okay.
tracks, so I played a lot. I think my number is around where Kareem's is.
Wow.
Nice.
Good for you guys. All right.
Mine's
There is this interesting thing, the percentage. I know it was like some people were saying that, well, that's not a good a stat because so many people have accounts but don't play, so that skews the whole curve of the data. But it would be cool if that works. That's honestly kind of a cool little feature to see if you're in the top 1% of players or 3% of players. But
this is something that's
What
come
do you
up in
think?
the comments on my channel. A lot of players who saw that I got 3% with like 620,000 were a little bit offended because they're like, wait, I got 1 million and you get the same thing that I get. And I was telling them that, look, when you make that top 1,000 ACR, you're less than 1%. You're the top of the top. I said, and I understand your frustration and understanding that it would be better to have top 1% because that would separate the difference between 1 million and 600,000. Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I'll give you guys a little bit. Guess how many first place finishes? This is not good, actually, when I look at this. Like, what was I doing? First place finishes.
But it might be broken. That's what I'm saying.
These actually look like what I anticipate to be reasonably correct.
300?
Okay.
986.
Yeah. Wow.
That's honestly, I don't know.
You don't reset very much, do you?
I don't know what. Oh, yeah.
Do you
never
reset
doing that again?
Do you reset during your?
I think that's all draining.
No, because this is all from me because I didn't have any of those tracks. I've only started grinding EXP sort of recently, and I had like 30, whatever it is, 33 tracks to do, and I just did them on 200cc, taking roughly 50 on each track. And honestly, like this tour, I don't really want to play the game. I burned myself out. It was a really stupid move on my part. I won't do that again. Honestly, I will never do that again. It was not fun.
And they better give you player level 200 or else...
Yeah, they might never do it, or it might come in a year. Like, it just was not fun. It was bad call.
Interesting. I will say I was that was the one tour that I did not get the top 100. I was 101. I'm looking at my stats; they're not any different from anything else. I think I was afraid to put tickets on stuff, and because I'm literally looking at 60 first place finish or 60 non-stop combos. Opponent crashes 1800 for like the Sydney tour, and literally identical numbers. Again, I think I was like in the 60, 70 overall, and then the second anniversary, same exact numbers, and I got 101. So
blue shell to avoidance. Apparently, I'm terrible. I got hit 80 times with blue shell.
80? I got 27. Yeah, so you're getting crushed out there. Wow.
Oh, really? God, maybe you've done more than me.
So are all these stats? Are they?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably much more there. So are all these stats just for fun, or do you feel like there's some information that you wish you had that could help maybe you improve?
I think it'd be fun to see opponents, like in ranked or friends. Like I would literally spend like some good time
looking at each one,
looking at people's okay, well, what's their ranked like graph look like? Like how many combos do they usually get? Do they never break like 125 combo? I don't have to worry about them. I think it'd be interesting to be able to see it on a wider scale.
That way, if you guys are ever my ranked, you'll know that I'm no competition for you.
Yeah, don't look at my stuff too closely.
Any other data you guys wish you had that Nintendo's obviously collecting somewhere?
Does it even have your high score? It doesn't even have your highest score for that tour. Like, that's insane. Why can't it? That's literally in your all clear pipe video.
Yeah.
And that's not even in here. I
think it'd be nice if they had a library, like just a completely separate portion of the app that had a library of all of the courses, and you would tap on the course, and you would be able to see like your best run on it.
Well, that's what I've been saying. Yeah. That's what I've been saying for months. Absolutely.
Because I've got a
of course, like this tour
manual, but it'd be nice to have it in the app.
No, that's smart. I would say that like this tour, with all these pumpkins, would throw off that number because it would be much, much higher than in other tours. But you could...
Is it throwing off ACR, by the way, Studfit?
Oh, yeah.
Is it bumping that estimate?
It's, DKR is like adding an additional anywhere between like 10... However many pumpkins are on there. I think there's like a certain number of pumpkins he's assuming, because there are some that are on separate sides. You have to kind of pick one. Sure. Like in bowling, you can't just try to knock them both over. But
although I have tried to do a pumpkin split. Yeah.
How'd that go? Little pumpkins.
Of course. I haven't pulled it off yet. It's on my bucket list.
So I think he adds he takes into consideration how many pumpkins are there and which ones are spread where you have to kind of pick between the leaf pile or the pumpkin, or can you get them both? And so he's put probably way more thought into this than we ever thought we needed to for this cartoon mini kart game. Okay, sounds like we kind of covered that. I had one other question from one of our fans, one of our stud members, and then we'll wrap up with a fun story from Jeeves that involves a charity. KnightRoso asks, how would you feel if Nintendo introduced a Gold Pass Plus? So, Kevin, you can take a nap if you need to. Let's say for $10 a month, which included a lot of perks, if you had to pick one perk as the most valuable perk to you, I'd love to hear Kevin's opinion on this. So he lists, like a dozen here. Better rewards for gifts, so either more rubies, more coins, more tickets. Access to an additional special pipe each tour. 2 more freebies per pipe each tour. Raising daily coin limit from 800 to 1,000. Raising daily pass points limit. 20 free rubies per month, plus all cup ranking every month. Additional slots in the daily selects. Access to special challenges for ruby rewards. More friend slots. Accessing to buying premium challenge plus each tour. Like you wouldn't have access to it if you didn't have this gold pass plus. Or better ranked rewards to get to, or like maybe once you got to past tier 80. Which do you think is the most appealing, regardless of whether you would pay for it or not? Because that's the second part. But out of those rewards, which do you feel like is the most attractive?
I don't know which is the most, but it's just a no-brainer idea. I mean, we've talked about this before. I don't know why Nintendo does not do that. Gold Pass plus Premium Pass, whatever you want to call it, people would buy it. It's a market that's there, and they should be taking advantage of it. It's classic Nintendo kind of just overlooking something that's right there in front of them. Don't you guys agree?
I almost feel like they're testing it out with the premium challenge cards to see if people are willing to, like, enough of the population is willing to put extra money into it. Because really, like, a lot of those bonuses you can get each tour by just paying an extra $5. And then they did the premium challenge plus ones. Like, I think they're actually trying to get data collected to see if it's worth it.
But did that fail? I mean, didn't enough people, like Kareem, you were saying, even only if a handful of people buy them, why not take the extra money? Does it mess something else up in the game mechanism that I'm missing to do that?
I don't think so. As far as I'm concerned, with all those things that you suggested, I'm all about tickets. If it's rewards, like rubies, to me, end up basically the only time now with my approach why rubies are important is if it's to get a brand new item. Otherwise, I will always take a high-end ticket over rubies because it's rubies where you can place them where you want. Obviously, cap tickets are a major big deal. So anything which, I mean, they'd be, I think, the most important. And then closely followed by other high-end tickets. I know for other people, things like coins are massively important. They're not for me. Yeah, I'm all about tickets personally.
Yeah, along the same lines, I'd say adding like an additional row to the daily selects would blow my mind. I think that would be the number one thing I would ask, like just an additional row. Like if you paid, additional $10 a month to get an additional row, I'm sitting all these coins. Like I would love that. That sounds like by far the most interesting to me.
That just gives Mario another chance to give me another 4 normal.
Shut you down even harder. What about you, Spike? You're Gold Pass, right?
Pass, yeah. I have been since first.
So what would it be
would
for
any
you
of
that
those
would
things
entice
be worth $10 a month?
I don't think I'd get it, but I think I'm not sure what the most valuable one of those things would be, but I think the most interesting could be another pipe that's exclusive to only the Gold Pass Plus members or whatever. Obviously, they'll have to give
blue pass for the blue.
They have to actually give good stuff with the pipe, though. Blackbird would be there, I guess.
That's true. You couldn't just get comments. That would feel
Curious,
bad.
do you buy
Maybe
the premium challenge
boosted
card?
higher odds.
Spike, do you get
Which one of
Spike?
us?
I was just saying maybe boosted high-end odds, super odds, and maybe just a small amount of normals compared to the standard pipe.
Do you? I think FrenzyFans Gal was asking you, Spike, if you ever get the Premium Challenge Plus.
Oh no, I've never bought the
not plus, but regular, the $5
premium challenge.
Premium
Ever.
Challenge? No. There you go.
There's all kinds of players out there.
Yeah, no, I have to toss this up there. Kevin Garrett, in a vacuum in space, far, far away, in a situation where, gun to your head, you had to put $10, and you had to pick one of these, which would be the most attractive?
I would say the Gold Pass Plus. One thing I do want to mention is being a free-to-play player and seeing how the free-to-play game has evolved from Nintendo. Nintendo has been walking a tightrope for a very long time in terms of making the game more generous, more approachable. They started with that door-in-the-face tactic. A lot of people didn't like it. They lost the mainstream, and they've tried very hard to shed that image as the months and years have gone on, and they've done a very successful job of that. But one thing that they're overlooking is, what is the value of Gold Pass anymore? I talk a lot about this within the community of Gold Pass players, particularly if you're not a day one player. It's huge. If you started Gold Pass last summer, like our member Dave Falto did, his experience is almost identical to mine. It's like, what are you actually paying for? You're basically a free-to-play player, and you're giving them $5 a month. It's not right, and it's something that they really do need to target moving forward. And what is their revenue going to look like? What are the demographics that they want to pull from?
It's interesting. You guys say something?
You get a little extra rubies, a little extra tickets, and then you get an occasional gold King Boo or something.
I think Tabor's taken the opinion that that's the most valuable aspect of the game is this Gold Pass, and I kind of tend to agree to him when it comes to the different tickets you get, the different rubies you get, the free pass, free to play, free to lose don't get. In my opinion, that seems like a lot of value. In fact, much more than a premium challenge, or much more than obviously than a pack. I just feel like that's probably the best bang for your buck in the game.
What do you get? Like 3 high ends and about what, like 30 rubies or something? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I mean, you get the garbage stuff that they give you, like the red B Dasher and other stuff.
The gifts are the big. What's the biggest problem, Kevin?
It's just
the gifts?
What those gifts and resources actually amount to in terms of the account's progress over time.
Right.
And it might be hard to understand.
I mean, the tickets are the biggest thing to me, though. The high-end tickets, like that, if all they have is the high-end tickets, that'd be worth like $5.
Because I'm friends with Tabor in the game. I know where his stats are, and we talk regularly. He is a day one player. So he's the beneficiary of all of those gifts, those exclusive things that came to his account. It's basically like he's like one of the dwarves in Tolkien,
He's got all those kind of food.
He's sitting on this mountain of gold, basically. But if you're a new Gold Pass player, you don't have that built-up equity, and quite frankly, you're just not going to get there. The difference of what that experience is to the free-to-play experience is very, very little.
Interesting. Okay. I think that getting the high-end tickets is extremely valuable, but I see what you're
they're giving the high-end tickets to free-to-play now, both through the tour gifts as the extended summertime celebration.
Oh, really?
I mean, granted,
I don't know why, but
Gold Pass gets more, but we're still getting them for free outside of token shops, outside of today total points.
Like you're getting these here, like in the middle.
Correct. Well, oh no, the ones that are on the right, those are the Gold Pass ones. It's the one at the very top.
Yeah.
No, they add one at the top.
Oh, you get the one at the top. Okay. Yeah, but
so they're buffing the free-to-play system, and they're not doing anything with Gold Pass.
But you're getting these three high ends I'm showing right here.
No, that's what Gold Pass gets.
Okay, those 3 right there to me is worth $5. So that's what I'm saying is like that seems like a lot of value right there. The rubies and stuff is really good too. And to me, like that's good bang for my buck in my opinion. But I get what you're saying too. It's like does a red B Dasher here help you out? Does these free pass gifts? What was it this tour?
It's hard to relate the experience because I know that Studfit, you're not a day one player, but you are pay to win. So it's like the pay to win element has equated you to a day one Gold Pass player in some respects because you've injected your account with that equity that a day one Gold Pass player like Tabor would have on his account. Whereas if you're like Dave Falto, who is just Gold Pass since last summer, he doesn't have that additional equity really built up compared to what free-to-play players are able to accumulate.
I see. Okay. Well, I mean, I will say that gold, what's it called? Gold Tanuki glider.
The glider?
That one looks pretty cool. Do you wish you had it, Kevin?
I only have like 50 gliders,
So curious, as a free-to-play, can you usually get 2, like the very, very last one for this tour in the tour gifts is a high-end Kart ticket?
We have to
Are there
use
enough
stars?
Tickets. You have to use star tickets in order to be able to get up there.
Yeah.
How many per
So
tour?
they give you more than it costs.
4. Okay, that's manageable.
Okay.
That's
nice.
good.
Oh, interesting.
That's good. All right, guys. Well, we are over our time, and it's perfectly fine by me. I love it.
No.
Yeah, I know. But we come back. We do this every 2 weeks, so we'll see each other again. And who knows, maybe in the future we'll have Kevin and Spike on again. But it's been a pleasure having you here. I had a fun story for Jeeves that I thought I always like to end the Kart Talk with a fun story about friends or about family or about spouses or fun situations where this community is entertaining each other and building those relationships. So Jeeves has this story about he and Curtis. Many of you are familiar with Curtis as he does the Hitbox. He's good friends with you guys, FrenzyFans. Many of us know Curtis. I know Curtis very, very well, and I'm a big fan of Curtis. One of the nicest guys that you'll ever meet. So a few tours ago, Jeeves and Curtis were having a talk about All Cup ranking, and Jeeves had recently made top 50 for the second time ever. Curtis, as he does, said something along the lines of, "Okay, I can't wait to see you get to top 25. I know you can get there." And just overall a very encouraging person. So that doesn't surprise me one bit. Jeeves was caught off guard though, because he felt like he grinded his fingers off and barely got outside this, got into this top 50, and that he felt like that was his highest achievement he could get. And pretty much the last thing he wanted to do was ever be challenged again. So he kind of gave some kind of smart alecky comment like, "Well, I can't wait to see you get top 10. He shrugged it off. So he kind of took it one step further, said, "If you can get top 10, I'll give you $50 to your favorite charity." And he comes back and says, "Well, likewise, if you can get top 125, I'll give $50 towards your charity, to your charity." So Jeeves thinking to himself, "This is never going to happen." Then the anniversary tour came along, and he didn't even really check All Cup ranking until like week 2. And with it being all cities, it was kind of a crapshoot on loadout. When he first checked, he was in the top 40. And without working at all in the week 2 rank, so he basically threw away week 2 ranked and decided to go, "I'm going all in. I'm going to try to see if I can meet this challenge." And as the week progressed, he was around 30th to 35th. And then he thought, maybe there's a chance. Maybe I can get in this top 25. So he goes into the final day. He was up to 27th. He was so close. He grinded the S word out of that tour the final night. He actually lost sleep and about the whole thing, which is crazy. Woke up on the day of the results, finished 25 by a few thousand. Boom. And Curtis kept his word, donated $50 to the Northern Illinois Food Bank. And just an awesome spirit. So just a cool story to go out on it, just about two friends challenging one another, still helping the community with a nice charity. But kudos to Curtis following through on your word. Big props to one of the nicest guys. So thank you guys for sharing that story with Jeeves, between Jeeves and Curtis. And great job, guys. And if you viewers at home have a story about your friends, your family uniting in the community about this game, feel free to share it with us. We're going to wrap up here, but before we do, I'd love to hear from you, Sgt Spike and Kevin Garrett. If this is the last time people hear from you guys on Kart Talk, feel free to say something to your fans as a parting way, and then we'll let FrenzyFans take it away on their now famous exit. Go ahead, Sgt Spike. You want to say anything to your fans?
Well, thanks for everything, honestly. Never would have thought I'd get this popular and stuff. Honestly, the tier lists and all that was just, it was just for fun, really, at first. I really didn't think I'd still be making them 2 years later, and my app and all of that. Never thought it would be possible. So thanks for everything, and thanks all you.
Is your app coming to iPhone? Is that right?
No, not planning on getting an iPhone
Do you wanna...
Android,
Not
just
yet. Okay,
Windows and Mac.
But people can get your app for
and
Windows
Mac, yeah.
right now.
But
and if they want to get that, maybe we'll put it in the show notes.
What's that?
If I can get that for we could put a link to that in the show notes for those who want to check out the app. Is it live?
Yeah, it's live right now. I update it
On
every
desktop.
tour. We're currently working on the biggest update for it, actually, which I was hoping to get out for next tour, but I don't think I'll be able to because there's so much to it. But the tour after that should be out. The question mark tour, actually. Whatever that's going to be.
The question mark.
Yeah.
Love it. Kevin, you want to say something to the Kart Talk fans who may, and a little bit, feel free to plug your channel too.
I mean, I'm just thankful for everyone in the community. Sammy D, first and foremost. I mean, you raised the whole community on your shoulders. Studfit and Tabor, I have the utmost respect for the work that you put in and the resource that you provide to the community. I love the program here. And, if you are interested in alternative analytical strategies, my channel is something that you want to look into, because there are multiple ways to play the game, and you can be very successful with a little bit of ingenuity and creativity, and we have a lot of fun doing that.
I will say, Kevin, I know I think the last couple videos, they were like 15, 16 minutes. They were short and they were concise and said, hey, this is what you need to know. This is what you need to know. Take a look at that. I actually loved it. It's probably one of my favorite ways to just kind of see in a way, it's kind of like, rundown light and it's immediate. So big fan of how you've been evolving. So great job there. And, Kareem, you want to say goodbye as well?
Well, I was just going to say so I don't know Kevin, and he doesn't know me, but I've actually been following his videos for a good 2-3 months on the back of Samuel's mentioning this Kevin Garrett. I was like, who's this Kevin Garrett guy? And I'm actually fascinated by his videos. So I would say keep up the good work. And I've also started watching all FrenzyFans videos. So the next thing I'll do is I'll have a look at Sgt Spike's. I can't really get enough of the videos, honestly. I enjoy the analysis almost more now than I enjoy playing the game, which is very bizarre. So
whenever I run out of YouTube videos each day that people put out, I get so sad. I'm like, what? No one else has got any more videos? Let's go.
Lazy bums.
I just like listening all day long.
Absolutely. So mad props to all you guys. Honestly, I could watch them just back to back. So
I
well
just have
played,
to
all
come
of you.
in.
Yeah, and
Spike's tier list, it looks beautiful. I've seen what he does, and it's amazing. I followed him on Reddit. He was probably one of the first things I've seen. I don't have an account on Reddit, but I always see what people are talking about, and his tier list is one of the prominent features over there. And it is a little bit disappointing that it's not on iOS, because I think Sammy D is on iOS too, and it's a resource that I would like to make use of. I think it looks beautiful. It's fascinating. So if you could somehow get that to iOS, that would be really cool.
You can just find some more hours in the day. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to, but I think it's more App Store and all that that's the problem.
We're all human. We're very much all human.
Sammy, would you like to say goodbye as well?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me, as always. I'll see you guys in the next one.
By the way, all of these Kart Talks and the Rundown is available on Apple Podcasts. We put just the audio version out there so you could listen really softly, of course, while you're playing, because that's how, at least if you're using an iPhone, it makes the volume really low. But the podcasts and the Rundowns, we did the Rundown stripped down with no music or anything in the background. Those are available on anywhere you receive podcasts. I think I can say that. At least Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Google Podcasts. I try to put it everywhere I possibly can. I use a program that shoots it out, that RSS feed. So anyway, I noticed every single tour, like someone finds out about it, and they're getting a little bit more downloads each time. So definitely check that out, especially if you like playing while listening. And FrenzyFans, take it away.
All right, so just real quick before we do end, I know I've mentioned it before, but since Sgt Spike's on here in person, I just want to give a shout out to you. Like, when I first started playing the game, I randomly kind of stumbled upon Reddit. I think it was just through some like Google search, and your posts every week that gave the updates for the buffs was like integral into like me just starting to get into the game. Like I had my own like Excel spreadsheet, and I had like all this VBA code where like you could push buttons and certain things would like hide and then like reappear, and I could see what exactly I needed in order to be able to get my loadout to like 100% whatever. Like that was kind of my goal. And like for the longest time I was just kind of like this lurker. Like I didn't have a Reddit account, but like I would check it every day and like always look, scroll and try and see your stuff. And I think I owe a lot, like a very large, motion of gratitude to you for just being so consistent in it. You were definitely one of the people that kind of unknowingly encouraged me to, first of all, get a Reddit account and start posting on it. And then, just trying to, give back to the community. I had seen that I was using this calculator like week in and week out, and I was like, Sgt Spike, he's always giving so much to the community. I'd love to be able to, and in some measure be able to give back a little bit. And so that's when we started thinking maybe we should do a YouTube video and, kind of, make a channel and get some fun out of it. So anyway, it's just kind of snowballed, but I just of the big snowball that FrenzyFans are in right now, we want it to get a lot bigger, but I think you were kind of that small first pebble of a snowball that way over a year ago, your work and your diligence to the community, it doesn't go unnoticed, and I think you deserve a lot more credit than you have gotten. So anyway,
thanks so much.
I think it's
Great point.
it's really cool that I'm able to tell you this in person.
It's like a love fest now.
We got a little bromance going on. So, but yeah, it's true. Every morning on the way to work, I always love listening to Mario Kart content, and I'm always kind of bummed if there's not a new video to listen to on the way to or from work. So keep it up, everyone, and good luck in ranked. Good luck in your pipe bowls. And until the next one, may the frenzies be forever in your favor.
See you guys.
You guys later.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye.